sketching.
In fact, there is one plant.
Pushes up Monaco once again.
Go ahead and give me Hi, Dragon. Go ahead and give me a perception roll, please. No, investigation. Give me an investigation roll.
Say. Rather, I was going to make the suggestion for investigation or something, but...
I was going to say I don't have...
I'm back.
Just normal, because I don't have advantage, right? Oh!
Well, no, they're different ones.
Okay.
Oh, shit! Okay, hold on. I gotta get over
to... down here from here, kids.
Okay, here we go. You come across a 9-leafed plant with a long stem. And you can see that it's growing out of a small puddle of water. It's long and slender and seems to be quite sturdy. However, you get the sense that you shouldn't touch this plant with your bare hands.
I want to touch it. No.
Do it, coward.
What do you do?
At which point, she takes a sort of ruler-like stick out of her bag and proceeds to gently nudge the plant to get a better look at the underside and the like.
You can see that there are very, very small little hairs that might cause an irritation of the skin if touched.
Oh, I know what this is now. Oh boy.
I don't think you do, but we'll see.
No, but we have something acutely similar down here, so.
It jots it down and also takes note that be careful where you step because you do not know what the plants do here. So she might take to, in a lot of the denser areas, just puffing up and floating. Because judging on the fact that it might be poisonous, it's a risk. She's willing to take the risk because she's inquisitive, but at the same time, it's
However,
suspicious.
There is another plant that catches your eye. It seems very bush-like in nature and is farther back against the cliff edge.
So, like, over there?
Yes. These leaves of the canopy of this bush resemble that of a bird's foot, not unlike your own. You're not entirely sure, but you think that the little black fruits that this plant bears may have a medicinal property.
Takes note of that as well.
Are you back, Sega?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. And as you continue to look at the plants, Jason, you're making your way towards the inn, and you also see this large, blue, intimidating lizard folk. And you see him look at you and kind of eye you over. What do you do?
Jason stares back at him for a moment and looks him up and down. He doesn't make too much of it and continues to walk towards the inn.
Hosea, you see these 3 newcomers walk into the inn, most likely to register their...
I'm sorry.
Or, well, you see 2 of these people walk into the inn, probably to register their rooms or their identification. And you still see that this fluffy thing is still looking at the plants.
Tail swishing, pipe in her teeth, happily just jotting stuff down.
And you've seen the others that have passed by doing something similar. But you've never seen one like her. At least not yet, anyway. What are your thoughts?
The headset just keeps getting unplugged.
Am I taller than Hosea?
Taller than Hood?
I'm questioning if it's taller than Horse.
I don't remember what Ozai's height is. Hold on, I can look it up. Hold on.
And to be fair, Nit doesn't get intimidated by much. She's jumpy, but she doesn't get intimidated by much.
She has no social cues.
Yeah, she struggles with them because she grew up in a scholar environment. So she's all like,
Grew up around a bunch of nerds, yeah, no.
her temple is literally known as the Temple of Knowledge. So, like, they are very inquisitive and documenting everything.
I had asked about it when Pearl was recording.
Yes, Jazz, what is your realization?
Ennard, how tall do you think Kozai is? Mind you, you are I think you're medium. You might be large. Hold on.
He's small, large, medium.
You can't handle spice.
You are medium, so you would be under 8 feet,
you
but how tall are you?
Yeah, and you think you're gonna be able to handle the wasabi?
Okay, so he's 7'10".
Oh, okay, he's taller than Nit then,
He's
yeah,
7'11" and a half.
Because Nit's 7'7".
So, what do you think about this strange, fluffy thing that's come to investigate your world? While he's responding to that, Ursula, you make your way into the inn, and you see a well armored, but not in the actual armor kind of sense. He is very well built and has these like bumps running along his skin, especially along his back. He has this very strange shaped head with almost like a tapered, flat fronted face. And you see him turn to you and you see this large club like tail flash over the counter.
Suppose I'm checking in for a room. I look
Ah.
behind me. For 3.
For 3 then. There's only, I assume, more that are coming into the inn. Okay. May I have your identification?
Ursula Monroe, and I handed my document.
It takes the identification and he looks it over and he flips through like some of the pages. He's like, all right, everything seems to be in order. And you said for 3, correct?
That's be true.
All right, then I will hold your room. And how your room will come to 10 gold.
I just fork over the cash.
You fork over 10 gold, so go ahead and take
Yeah.
like 10 gold off of yours. He takes the gold and he kind of tosses it up. He kind of like smooths it over with his fingers before dropping it behind him into a jar. And he turns back to you and he suddenly seems to have a key in his hand. Like, where did he pull that from? And he hands it to you. He said, I will give the others, may I have the name of the other 2 that will be joining you?
I'm typing to a friend. Let me move my thing out of the way so I can see everyone's names. A Jason Red Pipe.
Jason Red Pipe, alright.
And Parshati Zakhart. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the rest of your name.
Pasharti. Alright. I will keep an eye out for them and I will guide them to your room. But if you feel like it, you can go ahead and head on over to the Adventurers Guild. Your room is right here on the key, and he hands you the key.
I pocket it.
So either you can head up to your room now and get settled in for the celebration that will begin in a little while, or you can head on over to the Adventurers Guild and see what you may need to look out for.
Appreciated. But if it's all the same to you, I think I'll wait for my roommates.
Fair enough, fair enough. You can go ahead and stand right over there, and he kind of points to like a couch on the other side of the room.
There we go.
I wasn't expecting Ursula to give us a room. It's very sweet, actually.
I got you, homie.
Jason, you pass by this.
Don't.
Fair
Lie
enough,
down.
Jay. I should probably. You probably can't even say the map. Hold on.
I was gonna say I saw Jay's token. So I was like, oh, she's here.
Jay's token is not on.
Or not token, cursor. Cursor.
Yeah.
That's
There,
what I
you
meant
should
to
be
say.
able to see now. Okay. And Brandy will see when she gets in here too. I would like it to be known you are not actually here on this map. You are further into Frontier Sport at this moment. Anyway, Jason, as you make your way into the inn, you too spot this large armored man with a clubbed tail. And he looks at you and he goes, you must be one of the ladies' roommates. Considering the look of ya, let me see here. And he looks down the paper. Jason Redpipe?
Yes, that is my name.
Your room's already been sorted by your friend over there. And he points to Ursula over sitting on the couch.
I look up at him and I go and salute my fingers at him.
That's fine, Jay. She doesn't. And he kind of reaches under the counter and pulls out a key. He's like, your room number is on the key? Here.
He takes the key and proceeds to sit next to Ursula.
And he patiently waits for the next person to come in.
To be fair, she's probably, she's very distracted very easily because of curiosity. So, she's gonna be a while, you guys. Unless one of you goes and gets her. To be fair.
Jose, as you watch this strange, fluffy thing, you see
my headset just shut off.
You see a much older Many-Horn pass by you. He's red in color with white markings and a bright pink frill, but he doesn't have horns like a typical Many-Horn. He's got this large, blunt, almost horn-like thing on the front of his face, and he passes by you. And he goes over to the fluffy thing that you were eyeing, and he speaks up, and he goes, "Excuse me."
At which point, she stands up because she was crouched, catching plants. Turns around. Yes, can I help you?
It isn't wise to keep the innkeeper waiting.
Oh. Apologies. Sorry, it's just so fascinating finally being here.
Kind of tilts his head at you, but he's looking down at you, and his eyes you can't really tell until you really look at his eyes, but this is much older than any of the Faleo folk that you have come across just yet. He's clearly battle-worn with the hole in his frill, and he's well armored and carrying Well, he's not well armored. I guess in the sense of his frill. He's got lighter armor and he carries a large bow. And he motions to the inn.
I'll go get that sorted then. Thank you.
He nods to you and follows you over to the inn.
At which point Parashati walks in, closing her book, tucking it back in her bag, walks over to the innkeeper, inquisitively looking at him, pushing up her monocle, and slightly chewing on her pipe.
The innkeeper is watching you. And he blinks a few times as if stunned by you. And he goes, well, that's different.
I'd say the same about you.
He gives a soft laugh and he goes, fair enough. You are new to Tarkalia after all.
Though to be fair, as I noticed, we actually have something rather close. She waves her tail up.
He sees your tail before lifting his own and laughing. And he's like, I like you. And he pulls out and he says, your room's already been taken care of. And he hands you your key. Room number is on the key.
Oh. Well, okay.
Your friend already paid for it. And he motions to Ursula and Jace sitting on the couch behind you.
Her ears flick as she looks over. Well, I'll be seeing you later then, innkeeper. Proceeds to walk
You've
over.
all registered your...
Oh.
You've all
Can I
registered
continue?
your room. And you remember hearing about an adventurers guild that's literally just next door. And you were advised to go there after being in the inn. What do you do?
Jason will stand from the couch and look to Ursula. And we best go to the Adventurers Guild. Don't want to keep anyone waiting.
Oh no.
At which point Knit walks over and is like, pardon me, you were the one to pay for my room? I can pay you back.
Hang on, what's happening? I'm sneezing. What's going on?
Knit and Jason have joined you, and there's Jason's sitting next to you. Knit is asking about the fact that you paid for the room, and is offering to pay you back for some of the gold.
Nah, don't worry about it. Just 10 gold. Practically grows on trees in my line of work.
Fair enough. And Knit's kind of like examining both the somewhat new creatures to her. Because she noticed right away that Jason's hands are rather unique for a human.
Stop moving.
She's seen one of Ursula's folk before, but
No.
technically not IRL, or like in the flesh.
Still
In
starting.
person.
Yeah.
Not over there.
I apologize. I apologize. I zoned out for a second. Was I asked something?
No, they're over there. That's
Hmm?
us.
No, it was just Knit observing.
Sure.
Okay. Just making sure I wasn't asked something.
Oh, there was.
Oh,
That's
someone
why
getting
your
food.
noise took so long. Okay. Okay, thank you.
No, that's fair.
I was offered more food. It's fine.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the plan, period.
And there's also a human baby here now, again. As opposed to another type of baby that could be here.
Please. I
If
will not get things if you do not say shit. It doesn't. I need to be told some shit. That's why I was like, why are you washing dishes? I'm supposed to be the one washing dishes. You can remind me.
Jay is Big Dead.
I'm
Oh, no.
not muted. I thought I was muted. That's why I hadn't mind that.
Nope.
Oh, oops.
No, if you were not muted.
I was all like,
I haven't been talking in the D&D stuff. I heard my name, yes.
I don't know.
Something needed of
Hi, I guess.
I was going to ask you if you were writing down notes.
I have been trying to take down notes when I can.
Okay. So, Nit, because this Triton had paid for your room, do you maybe want to introduce yourself formally?
yes. Well, thank you for being so kind as to share your room with me. My name is Perashati Tonsui Nitzakat.
I cut her off before she finishes her sentence. I know well who you are. We've been traveling on the same boat for quite some time. The three of us have even been sharing the barracks.
To be fair, I haven't spent much time in the barracks as I've been observing the water. Because the majority of the time she was either up in the crow's nest or just on the deck, like, looking at the fish and everything.
Oh, there's breadcrumbs in it. 1 point. Sorry.
As well as taking
Oh
note
my
of all the different
God.
species that were on the ship.
Yeah, I could figure that much. Your nose never left that nose of yours. You know, if you have
Fair enough.
actual questions about the sea, perhaps asking of the sea, I gesture broadly to myself. Perhaps that's the best place you could get answers.
I heard your folk lived in the water, but I
Cut
wasn't
out
quite
again?
sure because you. I heard your folk lived in the water, but I wasn't quite sure because you look rather human-ish.
Such is the way. There's plenty of other species that are more some.
Fair enough. First time
Why is this fork a worm?
traveling out of tempo since childhood. But I shall be asking you various questions about the water then. Hope you don't mind.
No, of course not. You're young for your size. It's not a big deal for me. Now, if it's all the same to the both of you, I grab Jason by the back of his shirt. Maybe we should get our shite settled in first before we do anything else.
I feel
Fair enough.
though it is best we speak to the Adventurers Guild first.
And you want to be walking around the rest of this town, wherever the Adventurers Guild is, with all this heavy shite just weighing down our shoulders.
It could be cumbersome, but I feel as though it is best not to delay.
Just grab a sack of coin and a notebook or two if you really need it. Let's put our shit away.
And it has several scrolls on her back, like big scrolls.
Yeah, I figured.
So
Scholar.
they're blank currently, but still they're big scrolls.
Jason,
Don't worry, shorthand is important.
Jason just shrugs his shoulders. If you insist.
He's just being dragged upstairs by the fish lady.
And it just prancing behind. Just happy-go-lucky, fascinated.
As you make
Proceeds
your
to put-
way upstairs, you pass a couple of smaller paleo folk. One not unlike the receptionists that you met that had wrote down your names and your reason for coming to Tartalia, but they were much smaller, perhaps a different subspecies. And they look up at you as you all pass by, and then they start whispering to themselves in a language you don't understand, but they're clearly speaking in surprise.
Nit gives them a little wave.
One of them gave a small wave back in shock.
There's civilized people on our island.
Anyway, you make it to your room and you
Civilized
open the
tourist.
door. And you open the door. And you find a well-furnished room.
No, I'm muted now.
It proceeds to go to a corner, drop her scrolls and books, and turns around. Shall we go now?
Since earlier, since Brad
Jason,
was
go-
talking to me earlier.
Oh boy.
Jason
You have an action?
That was
Jason
that
walks
was
to one of the
little-
beds and sets his bag down. Now, about the Adventurers Guild.
Aye, just a moment. Priscilla walks over to one of the windows and checks how easy it is to open, and if there's a lock on it, don't worry about it.
To be fair, Knit is just chill with sleeping outside even, so she wasn't even really thinking about the inn. Like, she would have just posted up, like, in the middle of town.
So what are you doing first? Are you checking if the window opens? Like how? Are you just looking? Are you trying to open it?
I'm trying to open it and, like, generally gauge how well it opens and how easily it opens.
Can you roll me a... Would that be strength or investigation?
Probably investigation.
You can
Yeah,
roll
I
me
think so.
investigation.
Quick. You want that with advantage or at normal?
Normal.
Okay.
With a 17, you find...
I did that with advantage.
Okay, with a
But
9...
it's fine.
No, it's not with advantage. You rolled a 17, and there was a +2 on your investigation already. That's normal. It's okay. So you got a 19. With a 19, you find that the window opens quite easily, and there is a lock, but it is currently unlocked.
Narrow my eyes slightly and I close the window back and make sure to lock it.
The
Sailor's
lock,
intuition, if you will.
the lock goes into the window quite easily, but firmly, showing the security that it has.
I nod my head vaguely. Alright, I suppose that'll do. Because on ships they normally have portholes and not like actual windows.
Mm-hmm. So, do you look out the window?
Out for a second.
Don't die, not yet.
Why me? I check to make sure that there's somehow a way up or down from the roof from here. We're not like on the bottom floor, I don't imagine, right? We're like on the second floor, I guess.
Yes, there
Or
are
the
2
first
floors.
floor,
You are on the
or-
second floor.
Whatever you want to call that, in hotel speak, I guess.
You're on the second floor.
Okay.
So, I'm not gonna make you roll another investigation check. But as you look out the window, you can kind of see that there would be, for instance, if there were to be an intruder, there's no way they could climb up to that window. But onto the roof is a different story, considering the paneling does seem quite holdable to get onto the roof. And as you look to your left, you see that there is a large cliff face along the back of the building that you could possibly reach.
If you 50-50 and boneless off the rails, you can make it. No.
But as your gaze goes back out towards fuck.
Take your time.
As you look more outward from the building, you see all the bustling people and the sailors that are moving cargo, and also more ships that are coming in. And you see all sorts of people, both you recognize and don't.
Recognize as in species or personally?
Species.
Okay. I scan for any vaguely suspicious looking characters.
And suddenly, you see coming around the building is a large dinosaur pulling a cart of cargo. It is quadrupedal with a long crest. going from the back of its head. Or actually more out towards the front of its head, almost like a unicorn, and it's pulling the cart along with a rider on its back guiding it along. This dinosaur that you see is massive and towers over by the people that it's going past.
I squint my eyes
Can
slightly
it
in
like
disbelief.
rush over to the window and just like, oh my
roll me a
god.
perception check. God damn! All right. You rush over to the window, having spotted the large hadrosaur-like dinosaur
Over
pulling the cart.
Ursula's shoulder.
And you almost like push Ursula against the window as you're trying to peer out. You look over this dinosaur, and not only do you realize that it's a hadrosaur, it is a specific one that you have seen fossils of before. The name of this dinosaur is Syntausaurus, known for the elongated, thin crest stemming from its forehead.
At which point she rushes back over to her notebook and comes less forcefully behind Ursula.
Yeah, the first time she runs to the window, I get smacked against it.
But to be fair, you'd be between a wall and something very fluffy.
Yeah, and that fluffy thing has like 20 pounds of force behind it.
She gets sidetracked and is very, very curious and inquisitive.
Jason, you see Knit almost smash Ursula against the window in her excitement, and do you wonder what maybe she saw?
Jason does find himself curious and looks out and decides to look out the window.
You spot this same hadrosaur that I have described, with the long, elongated crest.
It is now eagerly sketching and taking note that these creatures are still alive. Like, she noticed the paleo folk look a lot like the fossil records, but she was like, I'm not 100% sure. They could be descendants. But, like, the fact that there's actual... In a way. But the fact that there's a full creature instead of a humanoid is all like, these creatures actually still exist. Oh my god!
If you go ahead and take a look at the dndinos category in the Discord, you will see an image of this dinosaur. Though I guess it is on my stream because I pulled up the wrong one. Whoops.
Many questions to ask now, says Burgashati, as she's sketching and taking notes.
From my spot squished against the window. Or you're starting to convoy until we get to the adventure field.
Oh dear, sorry. She says as she backs out.
And as you're all having this conversation, we're going to bring it back to Hosei. Hosei, you notice this older many-horn stop next to you. And he looks up at you, and it's then that you realize that you've met this many-horn before. The old man that has passed by your home many times. You see that this is none other than Tensen Lakusai, a tribe of Pachyrhino many-horn. And he looks up at you and he goes, Hosei, I see you're eyeing over the newcomers again.
Like this. I'm sorry, I'm an adult. You better not have died again.
You would have seen
there it
him passing through your hometown before many times.
That is actually a
Possibly
very
as you
accurate.
were growing up.
The silence.
Also out of character, I'm having to just kind of make stuff up currently because Kel has not given me a backstory. And he's not here, so I'm just kind of going with the flow.
Valid.
But
Make
considering
one
how
yourself.
long he's been around, I would not be surprised if Jose has seen or talked to him before.
Hosea.
Fuck.
Welcome back to the land of the living. Oh, fuck.
He kind of tilts his head at you. And he goes, Silence day today, then. All right, keep to your business.
Alright, keep your secrets.
All right, fuck your secrets. Right. He kind of sighs and looks at everybody before looking back at you. But no, literally straight ignore him. Yeah, no, he knows that. But he's basically talking to you, but he knows you're just ignoring him anyway. He goes, if I had to guess, something brings you here. Just hope you don't make a mess of the celebration. Would hate to see the guards running after you.
Again.
And after that, he kind of sighs and continues on his way. And he kind of goes back to the Adventurers Guild and makes his way inside.
I don't know, the token movement is really funny to me for some reason. But that's to go the long way around what I'm assuming is a fountain.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, going back to the group in the inn, you all start to make your way out of the inn and head towards the Adventurers Guild.
We taking the same path.
Oh,
Step at a time. Oh fuck.
And as you make your way out of the inn, you see this Manyhorn that had come and talked to you before in it, making his way into the Adventurers Guild.
Ears perked, curious. Also glancing around at all the paleo folk and other species she hasn't seen yet. Because to be fair, it's her first time technically out of the temple. And not in the spires. So, like,
human
all
interaction. No. Well, not quite human, but close enough.
Yeah. It's her first time seeing a lot of these species not in a book or in a crystal or whatever. There's different archiving techniques.
As you follow him into the Adventurers Guild, you see this massive, long-necked person looking around the almost bookshelf-like set of shelves. They're in an arch shape behind them. And above them is another floor, and you can see other paleo folk are working diligently, and there are steps on either side of her. And you see, well, this person hears you come in and slowly turns her neck around. And the first person she sees is that Manyhorn. She goes, Ah, Tensin! How lovely to see you once more. Did your last commission not end up well? Again. And
its tail is wagging, looking at the bookshelf. Like, that's the
And
main thing she
you
noticed
see,
right
and
away.
you see this older you see this many horn slowly approach. He goes, "No, Laksha, it went perfectly fine. I'm just here on business to make sure things go right." And she kind of chuckles, and she goes, and you see the receptionist named Laksha chuckles and goes, "Knowing you, things can only go wrong." And then she spots the three behind him and goes, "Ah, new ones. Welcome, welcome. Come, old Laksha. See you."
This lady already pisses me off. No, I'm joking.
At the sudden addressment of the party, Nit looks up to Laksha and is like, just kind of jaw slightly ajar.
Laksha sees the look on your face, Nit, and she can't help but laugh. She goes, "Haven't seen one quite like me yet, now have you?"
No, I haven't. May I ask what your race is?
"I am Titania."
He's literally racially
Fascinating.
profiling
Fascinating, fascinating. She takes out her book and notes it down. I've seen fossil records similar to you, though.
"I do not doubt it. From what I understand, the outside world believes that our kind and those of our ancestors are long since past."
Well, it's very great and fascinating to see you guys alive. I'm so excited to learn more about your culture and everything, really. She says as she opens her arms wide.
I've been hearing that for the past 4 days since Tarkalia opened its doors.
Its tail is wagging excitedly.
Now, may I see the three of yours identification?
Nit quickly pulls hers out and hands it to the tall
Her hands are
creature.
shaking.
She reaches her arm out and gently takes all three of your identification, and she lowers her head down to get a better look at them. She adjusts her glasses, goes, "Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does she need glasses or something?
Mm-hmm. I see.
Nit
2
has a monocle.
researchers and an adventurer. You will be needing protection if you mean to leave Frontier's port sometime in the next week."
Probably licenses too. No, maybe. Who knows?
And you see her look at this Medihorn, now named Tenson. "And I know just the perfect one to send with you." And you see him look at you, look back at her, look back at you, then back at her, and goes, "Shit."
He just goes, fuck off.
"Surely this won't be an
this should be
issue."
interesting.
I don't know if you hear me, so I'll say it again. "Surely this won't be an issue."
I have
If you
no
hear a small
qualms.
child crying, no, you don't.
Though, to be fair, I can hold my own.
Many say that, my dear, but they underestimate Tarkalia and the harsh world that she has made.
I clap Parshati on the shoulder. Listen, it's best to follow what the natives say. They usually.
You can't even reach her shoulder, sorry.
Fine, she slaps you on the hip.
I punch you in the
Listen.
kidney.
Sorry, I just found it funny because, like, I purposely made Parashati, like, larger, but, like, she's
I
short
clap her
for
on
her
the elbow.
species, which is hilarious.
I clap her on the elbow. I don't know. It's best to listen to what the natives have to say. They're the ones that actually know what's going on in their own place.
If
I
you
mean,
really
fair.
want a true word of warning, you can ask Henson here what happened to one of the foolish parties who decided to walk up north to Titania territory without invitation or permission.
Why did she talk like fucking the female version of Foghorn Leghorn now?
I mean, that's how I've been talking this whole time. Tenson looks to you And he's like, he's basically kind of looking at you with, do you really want to know?
Knit's eyes are sparkling like, please tell me all you know.
So he sighs. He goes, one of the groups that I had to escort, I had tried to get them to go through the marshlands. Because it's a better idea than to walking up into Titanier territory. The Titanier do not let anybody into their home without their permission. Any that they find are deemed trespassers and they will be killed on sight.
Right, okay.
And you may be looking at Laksha here and thinking, what could she do? How could she catch anyone? Do not underestimate them.
Oh, I don't underestimate anyone. It's more so...
Better to say it than to not say it, and someone make a dumb ass choice.
He's not gonna like Knit. He's not gonna like Knit.
Wandering off.
In fact, any that try to wander up to Titanier territory will be turned back at the gate.
She doesn't do it deliberately, that's the thing. She, like, sees something else, sees something else.
Laksha, you hear Laksha chuckle. She goes, it's a mighty fine warning. I do hope you heed it. We'd hate to lose any more that refuse to let go of their foolhardy understandings of how this place works. Though please understand.
Asking so many questions.
Though please understand, we don't mean to tell you this like you are going to. We say it for your safety, as if we have been instructed by Our Lady.
Knit's just mumbling to herself, judging. Sorry.
By Our Lady Stella Silverdusk. She only cares for your safety. Though the minute you step out of Frontier Port's walls, your safety can no longer be guaranteed. So keep that in mind. And she stamps all three of your identification and hands them back to you. You have permission to leave Frontier's Port. Tenzin Lakusai will be your escort and mercenary. Have a lovely time. And eaten.
There goes. Fuck.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Parashotti smiles up at her.
So polite. Politeness will get you far. Keep that in mind. And she turns and starts tending to the scrolls in the shelves behind her.
Knit attentively watching the shelves. Not gonna lie, she wants to go and rummage and start reading. But she's containing herself, although her tail definitely gives her away.
Don't worry about it.
If you want.
Oh shit. Yeah, we'll put that there. Okay. So, Tenzin turns and looks to all of you, and he goes, well, you know my name. Might as well know yours.
Parashotti.
No.
Parashotti turns towards him. Parashotti, Tonshui Nitsagat. Pleasure meeting you.
Parish what?
Parashotti, but you can just call me Knit if it's hard.
Knit then. Then Brandy can go to bed, Jay. Just let her know that we'll be meeting her character elsewhere. Okay. And so Tenson nods and goes, "Knit then." And he looks down to Ursula and Jason goes, "And you two?"
Jason Redpipe. Good to make your
Ursula
acquaintance.
Monroe.
Jason and Ursula. I've heard stranger names, though not as strange as Miss Knit over here. Anyway, probably should the
The funny thing is, her name's actually short for most of Lumalings.
yeah, well, he don't need to know that.
Not yet, at least. It'll find out eventually.
He does look to Knit and he goes, "I guess I should also apologize for someone I know that's outside."
Nick cocks her head. Like,
I'm-
just, huh?
I'm sure all three of you saw that big, intimidating lizard folk as you were heading in.
To be fair, she was
I
more
wouldn't-
impressed with.
I wouldn't call him intimidating.
Mm,
Not child.
his name's Hosei. He's just
Hard
here on
case.
business, same as me. I wouldn't pay him any minds.
Seems as though he has a knack for people watching, I suppose they call it.
Guess you could say something like that. But that's neither here nor there. The Lord and Lady will be talking soon. Rude. He don't mean it. He's just explaining you because he's sure that he saw you and probably had questions.
Knit, not so much, because she's seen lizard folk before. So, like, she's mainly paying attention to a lot of the paleo folk and other species she's never got to encounter. So, like,
But anyways, as Tenson was saying, look, we're gonna be heading further into Frontier's Port. I'm sure you have he kind of pauses to get his words together. You've got things settled at the inn, I assume?
Welsh father?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, we have our room settled.
Jesus.
That's good to know. You're probably going to be coming back here tonight.
You know, it's probably a better idea if they didn't put any breadcrumbs on it because it tastes better. Yeah, of course it did.
So,
But thank you.
but as I was
Getting rid of
starting
the,
to mention, there is going to be a big celebration. People have been coming in for days waiting for the Lord and Lady to speak. And they want to give a formal I can't think of the word. Fuck, it's escaping
welcome.
me. Welcome, thank you. Formal welcome to those visiting Tarkalia. Or maybe a formal goodbye to those that are leaving it.
They do this every single day.
Well, not every single day. People have been coming in for the past 4 days because it's taken them 9 months to get here.
Damn, I've been suffering with you two for 9 months. No.
To be fair, Knit was actually just silently observing most of the people on the
She's
ship.
been sitting
And
in
she
a bird's
spent
nest the entire time.
Pretty much. She would have really enjoyed just, like, even having her tail wrapped around one of the
It's just
things,
been-
just kind of puffed up, just...
It's just been her and the spotter in the crow's nest.
And as Tenson is talking to you, you're walking out of the Adventurers Guild. And as you step out, you see that Centausaurus pulling the cart from before, finally passing by.
Knit just soy jack points at it.
Not quite. She's not that drastic, but, like, you can tell she's focusing on it, as well as several other paleo folk.
Knit, as the tallest one in your group, your head doesn't yet reach the shoulder of this dinosaur as it passes by.
Yeah, I figured.
Excited tail wags, because she's,
Excited.
like, pretty much been one of the tallest creatures on the ship, and now she's like, oh my god, I have people to look up to again. It's weird.
Everything's normal.
Do I reach it? You are just a little bit taller than Knit, so yes.
You're just a lizard man.
They're like 3 inches taller than me.
So you wait. Tenson watches the Centaurus by along with its rider in the cart that it's carrying, and he sees your guys' reactions and he kind of laughs and he puts his hand on Jason's shoulder and goes, "Oh, we're just getting started."
Oh no.
Knit's not necessarily stunned. She's excited. She's already
Well,
taking
so
note
you know
of
what I
colors
mean.
and everything. Yeah.
And he
I
goes
just
to
like
pass
it.
by, and he goes, "Come on, we're gonna be heading up into the market plaza now." Shut up, Ursula. Best to get in there before the people fill in the gaps, I suppose. And
Knit
he begins
shuts
to
her book
lead
with a
you.
slight sigh and mumble.
I cast mute button. So you follow Tenson into the market plaza. Hosai,
We follow him into
you
the
can't.
field.
Before they go, what's up?
He just throws a rock at us.
I'm just waiting to get the locals' reaction to Knit being scared or startled. Because someone steps on her tail, she's gonna guarantee poof.
Jesus, hard to believe it's been an hour and a half already.
Oh yeah.
It
Damn.
is.
We're having fun.
Whee! We're world building. No. Well, yes, but not in that voice.
I don't know. It kind of sounded like it was in that voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're world building.
Like
Oh, now my
totally.
accent, please. You're literally plugged in.
Yes, I was just about to mention that to you. Thank you. That is exactly what you do. And so, all of you,
Rose is
including
creeping
the
along in the bushes.
lizard folk that you don't know is following you, you find your way into the market plaza.
Oh Jesus! We're in the teal now, boys.
Just got
Heal-ocean.
flashbanged.
We're in the dead zone.
As you make your way into the plaza, this giant statue in the center of it comes into
Oh, there it
view.
goes.
A statue of a well-dressed human man and a well-dressed paleo folk with large plates and a thagomizer tail,
Damn.
holding
I can't
hands
imagine
and
it,
raising
no.
their hat, holding hands and looking at each other. Your token? You click your token and you can use the arrow keys to move it. Or you can just drag it. Is it not letting you? Okay, give me a minute. Hold on.
You might not have ownership of it.
Oh yeah, that might be a thing. Following us at a good distance, literally on the other side of the market.
Knit is just like fully taking in everything.
Okay, let me remake your token. Because it should give you ownership. Okay, try now.
Ow. No.
Did that work?
Oh. Wait. No, that would have been funny if it did, though.
Yeah, that's what I just tried. I'm like, what if one of us can move it?
I have control.
I don't
of the
know
lizard.
why it's not.
You want me to hop over to Temptium real quick?
Could you? I don't know why it's not working.
Got it. I'm coming.
I keep. No.
That is his token, and he has ownership.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's set to owner on his character sheet.
Headset, you're literally fine.
Technical difficulties.
Alright, let's just go wander around the map or something while we wait for the lizard to stalk us. No.
To be fair, at the moment, Nid is just observing all the
Try this from Leonard.
stalls, looking for, like, books she can buy.
What are these gumballs? Those aren't gumballs, but it's funny.
They kind of look like gumballs, but I think they're colorful bushes of flowers.
Probably. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I steal the shrubbery. No.
It's just strong there.
Yeah, I don't know what's. Try that token entered. Not that one. That one. Yeah.
There's two of them now.
Yes, I know. There's two of them.
Nothing.
Nope.
No, I think it's funny.
Are you... You're clicking on it so the box appears, correct?
There's no box appearing when you click it. Okay. Do you see on the left side of Foundry, do you see like a little person icon?
Oh yeah, he's not on token controls. Okay.
Oh,
Click
yeah,
that
that's
and
probably
click
what it is.
token controls. It's the little like square box.
Box with a little benum, similar
Now
to
try.
the character sheets.
Yeah, that was the issue. Okay.
Okay. Let me...
Now
go
he
back.
can move.
Hey,
Okay.
well, we're paused. I just realized something.
What?
What's up?
The stat bonus from the feat I have, Shadow Touched, I never added that to my stats, so I'm going
Oh,
to...
do you want me to?
Yeah, could you add one to my charisma, please?
Yes.
There we go, I'm back again. My headset
And
just
thank
keeps
you.
dying.
Alright, problem solved.
Oh boy!
There you go.
I just
I
realized
see.
you didn't
I
add
see.
my wisdom
Okay.
and charisma in, Jazz.
Huh?
I just realized you haven't added my wisdom and charisma in.
What are you talking about?
For insight, it gives me +2 wisdom.
And for charisma?
For charisma, it's intimidation +2.
Okay. You
Oh wait,
have
wisdom
intimidation
3.
plus
Sorry.
2.
Oh, wisdom +4. Shit. Okay, so insight is +3, and perception's +1, plus medicine is +1, so 5?
Okay, hold on. I'm confused.
I'm
Hop
also
back over.
confused.
So, you need what?
My wisdom needs to be 5, +5.
So, it'd be 16. Because it was already 11.
And then my charisma needs to be +2.
So, it's 12.
Ouch.
Is that where it needs to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we good? Is everyone alright?
Sorry.
My throat hurts. Does that count?
You'll live.
Sega, you can go ahead and change back over.
Yep.
Okay, so you see this statue, and oh no, wait, I just realized Tenson's on the page. There. So
There it
as
is.
you make your way in, You see Tenson look up at the statue before looking around at the myriad of people. There's so many people. It's a massive crowd, all going along the stalls, talking to you. Like, there's all kinds of different people, and you also see other dinosaurs that are,
Hauling stuff, whatnot, right?
yes, and just maybe resting next to the different stalls. You
Yeah.
mostly what you see are hadrosaurs or ceratopsians. For instance, as you make your way towards the statue, a smaller trike just goes bolting past you to this stall. How do I ping? Fuck.
You could draw.
No, ping. Rather ping. Nope, that is not.
Basically, where
How'd you do that?
I just clicked my token twice.
I can't ping. Great.
Oh, you
All right.
hold it to ping.
Oh.
Oh,
So you see this ceratopsian of some kind come bolting over here and slide to a stop, almost right into these barrels over here. And you see it turn back around. It's obviously quite young, and it sits down next to its owner. And you see this feathered Raptorian paleo folk that, just like the receptionist from earlier, patted on its head as it tends to the barbecue that is sitting in front of him. It's a food stand, and as you continue to look around, you see all sorts of stands and merchants and stalls and people and dinosaurs and carts, and you see people sitting on the benches and just, where do you go first?
is there a book stall about?
There might
No,
be, but I don't think it's going to be selling the type of books you're looking for. No.
I mean, any books is knowledge. What would it matter?
Hmm.
Mm,
Hmm.
Jason would like to look around for a stall that sells anything of religious or spiritual significance.
Okay. Can you roll me a perception check?
Yeah, got you.
If you hear a baby, don't worry about it.
Oh, wait. There we go. At normal?
Yes.
All right.
God damn, you guys are on a roll today. Holy shit. You
I'm not gonna say anything because
see-
I'm gonna jinx us.
You see this stall down here
A dice joke, yeah.
that seems to have like trinkets and stuff hanging from it that seem to be of some sort of religious value.
Dude found the voodoo stall. No.
That's what he was
Jason-
looking for, to be fair, if I'm correct.
Jason will begin to walk down to the stall to take a look at the wares.
Fair enough.
Where did you say it was?
It is down here
All right, thank
at
you.
this blue one.
Owie.
Ursula, what would
I
you
forgot-
like to look
I
for?
forgot mine at the inn, so I'm just gonna look around. I'm gonna look around for some, like, moisturizer for my fish flesh.
Fish
Go
flesh or
ahead
fish hands?
and roll me a perception check, please.
At normal?
Well, I'm glad you woke up in time, Jay, because you're about to get ready to play.
Damn.
12. You see quite a few
No.
Oh, oh,
Gangnam
didn't see you
style.
there.
You see quite a few stalls that you think may have moisturizer or some kind of like plant-based lotion. Perhaps more up this way.
Got my sheet in the way. Where is it? Where am I?
Up here at this bigger stall.
Slowly but surely, I'm coming.
Knit.
Completely engrossed in all the creatures she's seeing, but is also looking at the stalls for any books.
In a
Or-
language she cannot read.
That would be fine with her. She would learn over time. She would enjoy learning.
Looking at the pictures.
No, she'd teach herself. I mean, she taught herself the bird folk language, or cockra, just from listening to the other. Just from listening to the other, a few of the other temple mates of hers speaking in their native tongue.
At least it's not Kenku.
Kenku would have a hard time getting up to the temple, to be fair.
Yeah, Kenku
They
can't
got legs.
fly.
It's fine, they got legs.
The
But
temple is like really hard to get to because it's like on a spire. You know Avatar? Like the air nomad temples?
Which one?
Earthbender and shit. That Avatar.
No. The Airbender temples.
Yeah.
There's the southern
Basically-
temple and the northern temple that we saw. I think the northern temple is the one that's upside down.
They're built into the cliffs so that basically only flying creatures can really get to them. Because, like, it was founded by the Lumaling.
Damn, I can't believe
And
that
the
fixed it.
Lumaling.
No.
The Lumaling live in the Wisto Peaks, which is basically just large peaks and valleys that are like spires, basically. And Zakart Temple is on one of the tallest spires. You can technically get up by foot, but you have to be good at rock climbing, as well as it's a challenge.
Okay. Tossing say.
It's a
There is the
long-
war I'm
Marshall.
about to say. Okay, Knit, I need you to roll me a perception check, please.
Yes, ma'am.
That was so close.
You said you were looking for something to do with knowledge, correct?
Books, writing, literature, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'd been waiting for you to
Um,
cutting it.
As you look around, you spot
I can go grab some.
a stall in the distance
Okay.
that may have what you're looking for.
Yes, please.
Proceeds to like casually make her way over there. Hard to hide her excitement because tail wagging.
Okay, go ahead and make your way over there. Tencent is going to follow Ursula over.
Thank you. Now you're good.
And now we've
No.
come to another player,
Come on.
Devoid. It's Devoid
Cool.
too.
Yep.
Yeah. VDAT. You see this human man with these very bone looking hands come over and investigate the stall that you are also standing at.
He just gives him a look.
What are you looking for?
Jason turns to look at what was his name? Vidat.
Vidat.
I have to turn you up, actually.
Turns to look to Vidat and gives him a bit of a look over. Well, simply put, I'm looking for literature on this region's spirituals.
That's interesting. My people do most of it through oral tradition.
Mhm.
I would be happy to uh, perform one for you.
I believe that would be very nice indeed.
I am Vidat.
Jason Redpipe.
Charmed. I suppose I'm going to make a performance roll.
Oh no.
I suppose you will be.
What are you doing to our white man? No.
So he pulls out this big,
God damn!
it's,
He just pulls out a gun.
basically, it's a base Joe, so it's a very, very, very large, it's not quite like upright sized, but it's like a very large headed banjo with bass strings. And he performs a, chant about a legend about his tribe that is informative, but, I'm not super sure how because I'm not going to do that.
Steam bar from Skyrim. There once was a hero named Ragnar the Red. No.
Yep, something very much like that. Yes.
Down with Ulrich, the killer of kings.
Well, no.
No, I know.
We're pro Ulrich in this.
I didn't want to say that out loud in case I jinxed it.
No, I'm just quoting a fucking Steam video, so.
Oh, I know.
That's like eat the rich.
The day of your death will dance and will sing. No. Which is totally normal, don't worry about it. The silence that follows is very loud. Or is it because my headset died again?
No, I
No.
don't think
Okay,
so.
good.
Nope. I do the performance thing. It's informative.
Soloner is just watching you, super annoyed. Does this every day.
As Vidat does this performance, he is telling you of a story that's clearly been passed down for a long time. This story is of a great warrior by the name of Tarka. She was an Inkylier from a time that has long since passed. It is.
Take your time.
She is said to be one of the original chosen of the deities that I can't think of the word. It's not litter is not the word I want to use because there are not that many.
Hack?
Brood.
There,
You
she
say
is.
brood like that.
Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. She is said to be one of the original chosen of one of the deities that are spread out across this continent. And because she was chosen by a deity, her power was very great. But no one knows what happened to her or those that were with her. It said that the deity grew angry with her and thus struck her down.
What happened to her? She died.
You
Sorry.
absolutely love quoting memes, don't you?
I do, yes.
It's
But only the ones
90%
I
of
remember.
how. It's 90% of how Dark talks.
First of all, you're right.
And second of all,
I don't know. There's still a baby in the background. Don't worry about it. He's not
okay.
having a good
I can't
time.
hear it, to be fair.
Good. She's just been crying for the last 10 minutes. She's not having a good time tonight.
What do you think, Jason?
As Ve-
Vida.
Vidat finishes his performance, Jason claps his bone hands together the best he can.
It
What?
sounds like you're smacking on his xylophone.
Quite a performance. Seems as though the gods are somewhat spiteful in this region. I need to keep
Claps
that in
his hands.
mind.
Never sing again. No.
From what I understand, the gods are spiteful everywhere.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Though some do
Jason.
not act on it.
Oh. No, go
Well,
ahead, sorry.
I just said, though some do not act on that spite.
At this point, I suppose it's worth pointing out that on part of his crest, there is a like golden like adornment kind of. I guess it's a crest. Can we call it a crest? Can we call them crest grills? Crest grills? Because I don't know.
I
what
would have
Grills?
called it
but-
a crest cap.
That's fair. So crest grills. My heart,
His head bones.
my heart became set on crest grills. So
all right, crest grill.
yeah. So
Yeah.
his crest grill. It's made out of gold, and it's got a what's the god in the region from the region that he's from?
The god the deity that is from your region is, one moment,
It was the
Druse, the sandstorm.
that was the
All that's happening is they're talking.
well, it's whatever
We're
that
meeting your
is like ambushing a large prey animal.
You see what seems to be some kind of tyrannosaur ambushing a large hadrosaur.
You would likely just go with your character.
Its
I
teeth
suppose-
sinking into its neck.
I suppose
It's still
this
so
crown
long as
sort
your
of
character isn't there.
this sort of crown on your head is of a religious context.
No, it's my flesh. No.
Yes and no. I'm not a priest or a holy person, but I do appreciate the stories of our people and
Again, where you went
the
before, I said you could probably go.
the powers of
Your
the
character being met in another
god.
session.
Would it be gods that walk? The walking gods.
Yes, I suppose so.
Ooh, the great beasts and the power of the great beasts.
I see. I suppose that is fair.
Jason,
Yes.
can wait, Ennard, can I say that out loud, please?
Oh no.
His cursor stopped real quick.
He said the Void's voice seems Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I don't actually know why I started talking like that. It's really kind of weird. I don't know if I.
Letter.
Could you give me a perception roll? Or no, or an perception or investigation on the stall, please, on what you see there.
Okay, let's see. Perception.
I
Investigation.
was gonna say, is this
higher.
still Jason, or have we moved on to a different character?
15.
15. As you look at the stall, you see figures of all different sorts of dinosaurs, some of which don't seem quite right in what you would think of as a dinosaur. And some of these trinkets that are hanging down seem to be perhaps meant to ward off something.
It's a dinosaur. Sorry.
Jason.
And go ahead. No, go ahead.
Jason goes to pick one of them up to inspect it
Yoink.
further.
You suddenly see a set of large jaws peer out at you, and they go, "Be careful! You break it, you buy it."
You break it! I kill you. I don't fucking know.
Well, at first, Jason is caught slightly off guard, for he did not expect to see anyone else.
You break it, I break you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. It didn't work though.
But
As
then
you
then-
break it, I break you. Sorry.
then he regains his composure and speaks. Why, of course. I am nothing but an honest man.
He
You
looks
bone hands.
down at the figure you're holding in your hand. Says, and he goes, interested in our deities, are you?
Your deities, your practices, your spirits.
You're the first one, one of the first outsiders today to come and investigate. The one in your hand is said to be the Steel Fury, the Finality, the deity of the Crest Singers up north.
I have no idea.
Of the Crest
As-
Singers. Okay.
Do you not know what a Crest Singer is yet?
Well, I've only just arrived today.
Fair enough. Oh,
What?
yes, I shouldn't be surprised. A Crest Singer is not too unlike these hadrosaurs you see running about,
Yes,
except they're just like the rest of us paleofolk of any kind.
Able to think.
Oh, I suppose you could say that.
I found that in my travels, what separates a person from a beast is the ability to think and reason.
Then they aren't that far from a beast.
Friend, all you need is a simple fear to wash you away.
As you look at the figure in your hand, you see that it seems to be a Parasaurolophus with runes running all along its body.
He inspects the runes. What do these runes mean?
I've only seen the runes a few times, so they may not be accurate. But from what I heard, the runes stand for the Crest Singers, a type of how do you say it? You can see that he's struggling to come up with the word. It's like a element of some kind, but it can go way deeper than that. You understand?
Plasma. No.
I believe I do. He sets the statue down. Tell me, which of these deities of yours watch over the dead?
The dead.
Yes.
Why are you asking?
Well, it's my expertise. I study the spirits and deities that watch over those who have passed on.
A grave singer, are ya? Alright, I see. He looks over at the figurines before picking up a carnivore-ish looking figure with very large claws. Large, very curved claws on its front hands. If you need a reference, think like the Night Feeder from Primal.
Maybe-
And he hands it to you. This is Sinu, the Ripper, the deity of the marshlands.
Hmm. Intriguing.
She said a single glance at her could kill a man, because by the time they realize that what's happened, their body has already been cut into 6 slices.
Does this creature bring the spirits to their final resting place?
Those of the marshlands say that's what she does. And he kind of leans in and he glances around. But if I'm being honest, do you lean in?
Yes, Jason leads in.
He kind of glances around one more time. It's more like she prefers just to murder anything that dares look at her.
Hmm.
Rather, she is their final resting place.
Intriguing. How much for the statue?
He pulls back and he thinks for a moment. For you, 5 gold.
Jason reaches into his bag and
I whispered, "You're supposed to haggle."
he leans into him. I was getting to it. He opens the sack, he holds his gold in. Uh, cash be a little tight right now. I can do 3, maybe 4.
Roll a deception.
Alright. I have no bonus on deception. Let's see how this goes.
Oh no.
13.
He seems to consider it. He looks to Vedat, then back at you. Can't your new friend there help you out?
We've only just met. I can't think to ask someone for money on our first meeting.
You see the paleo folks sigh. 5 is the best I can offer you. You see, these usually go for about 45 gold due to the material that they cost. But I can tell your interest in our religion and and what we believe in to be genuine, which is why I brought it down to 5.
Jason acts as though he's looking through the sack again. I suppose I can do 5. And
You're really bad at haggling.
I mean, it's 5 gold. He's not going to get too worked up for it when he's got 600 in the bag.
You're embarrassing yourselves in front of the dinosaurs. No.
But see, sometimes it's not succeeding in haggling. It's just, doing it.
True. He hands the stall keeper 5 gold pieces.
Ouch.
He gently takes it. He says, "Thank you kindly."
Storm, put those beans away.
Jason holds the statue in his hand for a moment and then places it into his bag.
Make sure you add that to your inventory.
Yep.
I just realized
I
Nick
You
doesn't have
see,
money on her yet.
you see the paleo folk. Wait, you should. Oh my god, you don't. Here, fix that. Hang on, I gotta check everybody else.
I have money, don't worry. I paid for the room. Of course I have money, but still.
What was the deity called again?
Sinu, the Ripper.
You worry about going to sleep.
Can you type that?
Yes.
Isn't that just another word for a type of muscle fiber?
I'll be right back.
It
Oh, I did that as Tensin. Whoops.
That's fine.
just says that out loud.
She is called that for a very good reason. That is
Is she
all
one
you
of
will
those?
get from me.
Okay.
Is she one of those big thingies?
Huh?
Is she one of those big thingies? I don't know the name.
Since I've already mentioned what Drusei kind of is, she's what we call a Megaraptorid. But she's not just a Megaraptorid. There's other stuff there too that I'm not going to mention until you either meet her or someone tells you.
No, that's fine. Also, do we know what the statue looks like, or is it just interesting
Yeah,
looking?
I can give a description for the statue. It's
You're welcome, Sega.
I looked up the picture of what she described it as, so.
I mean, like what what it's made out of.
Oh, okay.
Who
You
knows? You
can
might be allergic
see
to it somehow.
that the figurine is made out of hold on, the music
Malachite.
stopped again.
No.
We'll do that one. You can see that the figurine is made out of glass, but the glass has obviously masterly been formed and detailed into this deity. And inside of the glass seems to be marshland plants and water.
What kind of marsh plants?
And pieces of bone.
Yeah, of course. The aesthetic.
Ooh.
What kind of marsh plants?
Like river
Prehistoric or
delta
modern?
prehistoric, definitely.
Okay.
I thought you meant like what kind. I'm like, what does she mean by that? I'm
Sorry.
like Delta
I say
River.
that-
I don't know.
To be fair, I live in a place where there are marshes, and we have, obviously the variety.
If I could just like bring you guys back over to the continental map for a minute. So this down here
Oh, that's the
would
marshes?
be where Sinu is from, and this entire area here would be Drusei's.
Oh gosh.
Just so you have an idea.
Yeah. Death Valley, got it. Not having a good time.
Can you be more specific, Devoid, but bringing us back over to the Market Plaza?
Yeah, well, so like what I'm thinking of is like if the city's big enough, there might be a bar where a bar or a tavern that's mostly frequented by like, bards, other forms of entertainers when they're like on their days off, not like out doing whatever they do.
Well, you guys look at that
that
real
makes
quick.
sense.
Do my turn last, and I'll be right back.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I just have a black screen. Am I the only one who just has a black screen?
Oh yeah, nope,
Right. I have to bring your tokens. Hold on.
I have also died.
The boy. Oh. Okay.
Don't worry about your tokens. There's no grid on this map, so
This is just
this is the
the base of the
entirety
city,
of
okay.
Tarkalia's. This is the entirety of Frontier's port. So we've got like all sorts of guilds. You've also got the Adventurers Inn. I'm gonna restart my stream. And that will probably fix it. One moment. Here, is that better?
I think so.
Okay. So there probably is one like up here somewhere. But can you tell me in DMs why you are? Oh, you want to? Oh, okay, never mind.
I already did.
Yeah, I suppose you can do that. I do not have. I'm gonna have to. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go into incarnate for a minute. I can make one really quickly as we're doing this. But anyway, we're going back to the market plaza. So, oh, I can't edit this map anymore. Oh shit. Oh, it's not even $50 a year, Sega. It's 25.
That's not bad.
No,
Mm,
but anyway, we're going to hop over to Knit and Blake. Jay, are you alive?
Oh my god. I almost shit my pants.
Why? What happened?
So I looked at the date on the calendar that I saw, and that I see on the map, and I saw the 13th, 2024, and I was like,
Child.
oh,
No.
What?
Child.
oh fuck, oh my car insurance. Oh, April. That's the wrong date. Never mind. Because
Sorry.
I've got to transfer money into my bank account for my car insurance on like the 10th to pay for it. And if that was
I've
right, I was like,
gotta fix that.
no,
But
it was more funny than anything else.
Knit and Blake. Blake, you're looking at these stalls and you've got your hood up. Saying you have a hood. You have your hood up and you're looking at these stalls and you're minding your business. And you suddenly hear these excited noises and you see this very strange looking fluffy thing bounce up next to you and start looking at the stall.
Oh,
What's your
fluffy
reaction?
thing.
Blake is just gonna watch her like, what even am I looking at?
Knit, you approach the stall and you see what seems to be guides to Frontiersport and neighboring regions, and perhaps even informational
back.
books on the different kinds of dinosaurs.
Her wings flutter a little bit behind her in excitement.
The stall keep, who is a pterosaur, looks up at you and goes, "Oh my!"
It just looks like, what the fuck? No.
She's gonna get a lot of those, I can guarantee you. 'Cause to be fair, if I'm correct, her species only lives in high mountainous regions, so they rarely come down.
Fair enough, but she looks at you and she clacks her beak and she kind of tilts her head. She goes, "Well, you've got fur kind of like I do, but I don't think I've seen something like you before."
Well, pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I'm what you would refer to as a lumeling.
A lumeling. How
Anomaly? No.
interesting. I am a child of Sith.
What?
She cocks her head slightly. You're
Oh.
also a form of pterosaur.
Yes. Forgive me. My common not very good. I am and you see an older pterosaur kind of step up. She's a Thalassodromeus. Forgive her.
Oh.
She's still learning common.
Fascinating. And that is perfectly fine. If there's another language she speaks more comfortably, I speak Akakrin and Orin.
No, we don't know those languages. We know our own language besides common, which is Archaeosauric.
Is there a book on the language here that I could purchase?
I can check our crates. Why don't you take a look through other things that we have, and I will be right back.
Thank you very much.
He looks down at the younger child of Seth and goes, "You're doing a good job. Let me know if you need help." And she nods, and he goes and checks the crates, and she turns back to you, and she goes, we have books on native creatures and books on settlements.
I would like to take... Would you be so kind as to show me them? Holding out her hand to take a look at the book.
She picks up a book on, let's say, raptors, and she hands it to you.
It proceeds to open it slightly, flip through it a bit.
You can give me a investigation check, please.
Yes, sir.
Wowie.
Okay, as you look through the book, you can tell that it is handmade and that everything is written in by hand and drawn by hand.
Is it parchment or paper?
It is parchment.
Okay.
And as you look through the book, you can tell that the person who wrote it was perhaps very thorough, almost a bit too much, you might say.
No, that sounds like a lot of the scholars from Zakar.
Though in other spots in the book, there doesn't seem to be enough information.
Fascinating, fascinating. How much does this go for?
She kind of blinks up at you and she goes, and she looks around before looking at the piece of paper, and she kind of mumbles to herself in a language you don't understand, and she goes, 15 gold.
Can I also get a book on plant life and book with the settlements?
She nods and she picks up a book on the nearest settlement, which is Feather's Grace. And she hands you a book on local flora, sorry.
It proceeds to pay.
Writing a report about fauna. I have to
Can
facilitate 7 different
you
types of learning.
Can you give me 40 gold, please? I think it's 40. Wait. 15, 30, 45. 45 gold.
Hi, Opal.
I'm not good at math. You're better off taking that from me.
Okay.
No offense. I just looked at it and I'm like, I cannot do math at the moment with the migraine.
4, 5,
Real.
5. No, wait. Yeah, 4, 5, 5.
Since you're in here, Opal, it is time for you to get
Okay.
supplements as well.
So go ahead and add those to your inventory.
They'd be in tools,
And-
right?
Yes, I would suppose so. You can also just write it down in like your biography section.
Excuse me.
She takes all 3 of the books and she ties them up with strong looking twine and does a strong looking knot and then a bow and then hands them to you.
You're never getting them out of there.
It takes them and tucks them in her satchel.
As you tuck them away into your satchel, the little child puts the gold in something underneath the stall. As the older child of Seth comes back with the book. I found one.
Would it happen to be up to date? Because I look forward to learning the language of the natives.
Our language rarely changes, so it should be.
How much would this cost?
For you, I'll make it 10.
Since it's well-made parchment, I shall agree.
He nodded and held his other hand out for the gold.
Yeah, hands the gold.
So go ahead and set that to 445.
Got it.
And he takes it and he gives you the book. And
Takes
he
the
goes,
book.
fair warning, it could be a little difficult at first.
I like a challenge. Knit says, smiling, pushing up her monocle.
Oh dear, hello noises.
He chuckled and he said, you have a good day.
You too as well. Knit gives the child a wave.
And she waves back and she goes, bye-bye, pretty fluff.
It's so cute, I'm sorry.
Blake, you see this entire interaction between the Thalassodromius and the what you now know to be a Limbuling.
And he was watching everything that happened.
It moves on to another stall. Just like browsing at this point. Not like quite up at the actual
Just window
stall, but like
shopping, yeah.
just pretty much.
And now we're going to switch over to Ursula. Ursula, Tenson has walked with you because he needs to stay with somebody, otherwise he's not doing his job. And you find yourself at a stand that makes different types of like soaps and you know like
Skincare.
skincare stuff. Yeah,
I'm at a Bath and Body Works.
you see this Hadrosaur like person look at you and she gasps and she goes, hello my dear, welcome to my stall, how may I help you?
Good day. I don't remember if I'm doing the accent right. It's been a minute. It's been like
To be
Kinda
fair, I gave up on
Irishy.
Parash's accent.
fair.
It was supposed to be like borderline Indian, but
We all just become English at some point.
yeah.
Right here. Oh god. You need to pee. Go piss, girl.
Anyway, you were saying Don't
Okay,
die.
yeah. Couldn't help notice your stole. You wouldn't happen to have any, say, lotions for purchase, would you?
Ah, yes,
We're getting
you
pops again.
I don't know why.
Neither do
I really don't. I'm sorry.
That's the wrong server.
Because D&D be popping.
Shut.
I'm
Shut.
just gonna stop watching the stream and see if that works.
Likewise.
It would be from the stream, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
who died?
Seems like the void died.
Uh-oh.
Will he be back?
I
Maybe.
think he will be back. To continue on, she goes, "Oh, yes, yes, yes. What exactly are you looking for?"
Something that's not quite tough. And that's not quite for things that are as tough as scales, but something softer than sandpaper skin. I like to think that Tritons have a variety of skin, like textures and thicknesses. Ursula's, I want to say, is more like the underbelly of a caiman, but not as scaly.
You would be surprised to know that dinosaurs, although they did have scales, it was more of like you couldn't be able to put like your fingers underneath each individual scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So similar to a gecko.
They're yes.
Oh. Huh. It's real quiet right now. It's real quite tight now. What?
Quite, yes, quite right now. Yeah.
Quite tight. Got it. Oh dear.
It was because I disconnected.
Tragic.
I figured. Womp womp. There's a dog. I hear him.
Hold on a moment.
Take her time. Release the chicken. There we go. Oh, right. Sorry, Opal. I
So
drank all your water.
you see the hadrofolk kind of nod. And she goes, oh, we totally understand. And she kind of pulls up her arm. She's like, take a look at mine right here. You see, we deal with all sorts of different types of skin types. Some that can go drier than others. And she looks around. She's like, can I see your arm?
She unbuttons the fastening of one sleeve and up.
She gently
Bending it outward.
She gently takes your hand and like puts her other hand on the elbow of your arm. She takes a good look, and then she kind of takes the hand that's holding your hand and gently runs her fingers along your skin, and you can see that she's got 3 fingers that are ended in a keratin-like, almost hoof-like, especially when they were put together. And she runs them over and she goes, okay. I know just the thing. And she pulls her hand away and she gives you a. Hold on. I closed my book without thinking about it.
Shit.
She picks up a bottle that is light green and she hands it to you.
I like how
This
as we
here.
go, Jazz's voice just keeps remaining in the accent.
Yes. She hands it to you and she goes, this is Nalumbites. It's an aquatic lotus. And we typically use it to help with moisturizing, but these can also help your how do I say, spiritual warmth in a sense. consider it a side effect, but otherwise, the plant is quite good for moisturization. What?
Consider it a side effect. Huh? You now. Oh no, you're now religious. It's a side effect. I'm sorry.
No, it's not necessarily like spiritual in that way. It's warming spiritual energies. That's
No,
just
I know
all it
what you mean,
says.
but
So,
taking it at,
so like
but
a
taking it
warming
at face.
effect.
In a sense, yeah.
I know what you mean, but like taking it at face value was really funny.
And she's like, "Would you like to try a sample?"
If that's all right.
She gently
Make sure
opens
I
the
don't have an
bottle.
allergic reaction to this.
She gently opens the bottle, like she flicks open the cap, and she puts like a tiny little dollop on one of her hooked fingers, and she goes, "May I?"
As you must.
She gently takes your hand and rubs it on the back of your hand.
Oh. What's happening to me? No.
And as you're playing, it's very smooth. It's very smooth, but there's like a little bit of like, I don't know if you've ever gotten like potato starch on your hands
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
It's kind of got like a little bit of that feel, and she rubs it in, and uh, as she rubs it in, you start feeling that it is quite warming, but not anything that would be painful. It's almost like you put on a glove in a sense. And she gives, and then after she's done, she goes, "Look, goes right into your skin just perfectly."
Hmm. I was a big fan of this what's it called? This starchy feeling at the beginning.
Ah, wait, sorry, ask your question again.
Like everything after that feels mostly as if I've just stuck my hand in a pitcher of water.
Yes, that is the spiritual warmth I told you about. And as she's saying this, you kind of feel something deeper. Can you give me a nature check, please?
Oh god. What are you doing to me? This might be the last time you hear from Ursula. No. Maybe. Unless.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you a roll on that advantage. Can you roll it a second time, please?
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll take the 19. We'll take the 21. So,
It would have poisoned me? No.
you feel deep down, almost on a plane you weren't quite aware of, the sudden warmth, like a hug, envelops you and your entire body.
Don't know what to say about that. 5 minutes have passed and I'm staring off into space. Don't know what to say about that.
She goes, "It's not too bad, is it?" I didn't mean to do an accent there.
Just, very strange.
Mm.
Hasn't had a hug since the accident.
Oh ho ho, ominous.
Don't worry about it. More. Maybe. Who knows? I know. You don't. I don't fucking know. Ugh. Nose is getting on me again. Okay. What'd you say this was made of?
Nelumbites. It's a
How do you spell that?
Nelumbites. It's an aquatic lotus that grows along the shore of our very own frontiers ports.
Sorry, typing. Made of thing that feels weird.
She reaches down from below her stall and pulls up what appears to be freshly collected
It's in a jar.
Nullumbites. It is a lotus, and it has a heart-shaped leaf, and the lotus is very pale pink. And she goes, "If you need to know what it looks like, here's what it looks like."
And she
There
just
is
looks at it for a long moment.
it can become.
Something about that feels like foreshadowing, and I don't know how to explain it. Oh.
As I was going to tell you, this can also be quite useful if you go further up north, because it can keep you warm in the harshest of snowstorms.
Considering that I am quite used to some of the deeper recesses of the sea, there's not exactly wind down there, so that could be useful.
Oh, yes, the wind here in Tarkalia is quite, how would you say, unforgiving.
I expect all winds to be.
She kind of laughs. She goes, "Oh, you just wait and see."
Sounds like a threat. She laughs. I'm just yanking your tail. How much did you say this ran for?
That would be 25 gold.
25. A little bit steep for my tastes. Say we bump it down to 20.
22.
Alright, 22. They shake on it.
She shakes your hand and she takes the gold and she closes the cap on the bottle and hands it to you.
Oh, that's a pleasure doing business with you then, man.
It's been lovely talking to you. Please enjoy Frontier's Port.
That's 68, right? I think so. Not gonna use the calculator, I'm just gonna gut.
Sorry.
90 minus 22 is 68, right? I think so. We'll find out.
I need to, yeah. I was just about to say that. Ennard's gotta go to bed. I will be taking over for his character, and he's told me what he's wanted to do. It is, yeah, it's like 5 a.m. over there for him, because he lives in Italy.
Fair.
Damn.
Fair.
Italians? No.
Everyone say goodnight to Ennard.
Good night.
Nerd.
Sleep well, buddy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. So you're gonna you see like up in the top right with the icons? You're gonna click the 2 gears, scroll down, and go to return to setup or log out.
I think you can also just close the page and
I think,
log
yeah, I
out.
think you can also just close the page. I can't remember. Sorry, I have the app, so.
It'll be fine. Maybe.
But yeah, good night.
Even if he doesn't log out, I'm pretty sure you can still take over for him regardless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this will be on Monday, so he'll get to, like.
Sleep in.
And Jay's writing notes and recording, so there's that too.
Hooray!
Monday, no, I mean it'll be Monday that we'll be able to start earlier. At least I hope so.
Okay, chair, stop rolling.
So.
That child in the way. You know, cat children. slightly less sad than wolf children. I don't know.
You totally lost me there.
Okay, so as you're all doing your announcement, that's not what the word I want to say. As you're all doing your shopping, you hear what sounds to be trumpets, and you hear them from over here. And as the trumpets get everyone's attention, I'm gonna mark this out here. You hear people start rushing over and go, "It's the Lord and Lady! It's the Lord and Lady!"
No. Right.
Tenson looks down at you, Ursula, and said, "Well, we better go join the masses."
Oh, great. Just an opportunity to get trampled, I see.
No, you'd be surprised. So you all begin to make your way to the stage.
Still looking at the stars, in all honesty.
Not paying attention to the gathering.
Not
crowd.
really, because she's fascinated by all the different food items and
She
everything.
just gets absorbed by the people surrounding
Devoid, Jason, can you move to the
Pretty
stage,
much.
please?
Oh, right.
her. They're busy having their bromance. Don't worry about it.
So you all gather in on the stage, and there are guards along the stage, both human and paleofolk. And as you do that, you hear these trumpets still going, and so this is gonna get turned down now. You hear you see a child of Seth, an older child of Seth, walk out. They go, "Attention, frontier sports!"
Sorry. Okay, all here. Get on with it.
We have all gathered here today to either leave or be welcomed into Tarkalia.
Sorry.
And so, may I present the Lord and Lady of Frontiers Port, Lord Bowen and Lady Stella Silverdusk. And you hear, like, hold on. This, like,
Just cheering and applause.
and you see, I don't have a token made for Bowen, so bear with me. You see a shorter paleofolk and a well-dressed human man standing at the top of the stairs, and they begin to walk down. And you see Lord, who you can presume to be Lord Bowen, come to the front.
Oh god. Damn. We're already doing the coup. Got it.
Lord Bowen looks out across at you all as the child of Seth bows and backs away to the side. And and he says, "Greetings and good evening to you all. It has been a long time coming for Tarkalia to open its doors since the first day I landed here but 10 years ago. And I can only hope for all of the good that will come from all of you gathered here today. And although I may be the Lord of Frontier's Port, I would not be here today if it weren't for the meeting of my lovely and beautiful wife, Stellar Silverdusk." And he motions to the blade back. in the fine silks and dressed in the gold. She also has a small goldish tiara on her head, and she kind of steps forward, up next to him. And he says, "Speaking of, my wife, your lady, has a few words of her own to speak." And he takes a step back. And Stellar comes to the center of the stage, and she looks out across you all, and she almost seems to be on the verge of tears. And she goes, "You all cannot believe the happiness that fills my heart to see you all here today. Just like many of you, I've always wondered what was out there, beyond the world that we know as our home. And 10 years ago, I found out that there was more than I could ever imagine. I can only hope that my home does the same for you. And so I welcome you all with open arms to Tarkalia." And then you just hear,
Net claps along.
First look at
Same
the
for
gold in her
Jason.
eyes.
and she goes and she backs up to her husband. And they both take hands and do a small bow to all of you before turning and going back. And the child of Sethi comes back. And she goes, "Although the gates to the lands of the Titania to the north have been closed due to foolhardy adventurers believing that they know better, the gates to the marshlands is well and open. Should you choose to leave Frontier's Port today, understand this. Tarkalia is a harsh mistress. And I cannot stress this enough. I am sure you've heard it from my fellow paleo folk alike from all across town. This lovely city. What you believe has been your dangerous bout yet will not compare to the dangers you may run into here. And so I leave you but one last warning. Be wary of your surroundings. Take every sound to mind, every step, every footfall, every branch that you hear snap. It may be the last thing you ever hear. And so, I suppose that you are free to leave Frontier's Port, and I wish you all the best of luck." And she does a bow, and there is another, bow, and she goes to follow her lord and lady back up the stairs. And the guards kind of slam their spears into the ground before turning and heading back to their positions. And as the people all began to separate, you hear a sudden commotion from further up here. And Knit, if you were to turn around, that is not my token. Hold on, that's not the correct token.
Whoopsie.
What the fuck? Hold on.
What the fuck?
Why is that not?
Kind of fuckery is this?
Oh, I know why.
Oh, whew, that was close. I will drop my fork.
You see this. What the fuck?
Sorry.
I have a funny
Oh my
feeling
God.
this is like Attica's token, isn't it? Am I actually right? Did I get that right?
So you see this tiny
I was right!
There we go.
Hadrosaur start bolting down the way. And she's panicked. You can see it on her face. She's panicked and she's running. And you see. Oh fuck, I didn't make the. Oh shit. Use your imagination. You see a large, carnivorous looking paleofolk chasing her. And she's running and she's bolting and she's pushing through all these people. And then she trips and suddenly she crashes right into Blake.
Damn.
I guess I'm a dad.
And she jumps up and she goes, she jumps and she goes, I'm so sorry, need to run. And then
At which point,
but when
Knit,
she realized that there was
like-
nowhere to run, she hid behind Blake as the carnivorous paleofolk caught up, said, "You can't hide behind no outsider."
Jesus Christ.
at which point, Knit proceeds to stand in front of both them, blocking his view of them.
Jason
get
stands for
closer.
signs knit.
You'll stand here.
Tenson does the same on the other side. And he looks at all of you and he goes, well, what do we have here? Bunch of outsiders sticking together, huh? Even trade us to our own kind. And he looks down at all of you. Tenson is clearly, like, tensed up, ready for a fight. And then,
Knit is cautious,
Suddenly-
but not fully ready for a fight.
you hear someone walk up behind all of you. And if you were to look, you would see it was none other than Hosei, who is staring the what is now called an apexer down. And he looks at all of you, and he goes, "You know what? Keep the little thing. She ain't worth my time anyway." And he turns around and he walks away.
Knit then
And-
turns and crouches to Attica. Are you okay, dear?
The little hadrofolk is panting, and she goes, "I've been running for so long. You think you'd run out of stamina by now."
Knit takes her water bottle out of her pouch and hands it to the little thing.
She looks at it and then looks up at you, then back at the bottle and gently, almost hesitantly takes it before taking a drink. And then she gives it back to her.
Oh,
She goes,
God.
"Ugh, thank you.
No problem, dear. Tucks it back in the pouch.
She looks at Blake and I'm like, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I should have been watching where they're going. There was so many people and the big meanie was chasing me and
Like, would like to kind of cut her off to be like, no, you're good. You don't need to worry about that.
and she turned.
It's
She's like-
still crouching at Attica's height-ish.
She's like, why'd you all protect me?
I don't know about the rest, but when someone is in danger, don't most people try to help?
Especially
Depends on what you
Tea.
are.
No.
No one really likes to stand up to an apexer. It's not safe.
To be frank, I don't see what's so scary. I've seen way worse creatures than that.
They're super strong, especially their jaws. One bite could be lethal anywhere.
Jason will step closer to Attica. I apologize if this has been asked already, but he will ask, why was he chasing you?
It hasn't yet. Ned was going to get to that too.
Beat you to it.
But first, she's making sure the kid's okay.
She kind of fidgets with her fingers and kind of looks around at all of you, and she goes, "He's one of the stupid." She didn't know how to explain it, so she took a deep breath. And she goes, "I can't say for certain, but I think he's one of those people that exports others like us to other people."
Ursula just introduced. So he's
Slave
oh
trader?
fuck, I forgot what it's called.
Slave
Oh.
trader.
He's trafficker.
I think so, but he's
He's gonna
from
sell
one of the.
you and those like you into slavery.
She kind of looks down and then looks back up, and she said, and she moved a little closer and speaks quieter and goes, "I think he's with the rebels."
So he's just a bully.
Jason kind of cocks
Ned-
his head.
Yeah, so does Ned.
She
But
kind of
then
noticed your confused
It-
expression. She goes,
it's kind of hard not to notice
No.
when Ned cocks her head. To be fair.
Can you say
Because her big
again, Jess?
ears. Sorry.
she notices your confused expressions and looks confused herself, and she goes, "You don't know?"
We only arrived here about an hour ago. There's a lot we don't.
Indeed.
To be fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does Blake know about them?
Oh, where are my manners? I'm Attica. What are your names?
My name is Jason.
Pleasure to meet you, dear. My name is Perishati.
She flicks her hat up. Ursula. Once again,
Tense.
Jay asks, does Blake know about them?
Probably because you've been around for a while. You've been all over the place. And Tenson and Hosei. Tenson introduces himself and Hosei because Hosei is Hosei. And she nods and she goes, "Well, I haven't seen any like you before, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised you don't know."
We're talking to an 8-year-old.
Yes, you are talking to an 8-year-old.
Yeah. There's a lot of big words for an 8-year-old.
Oh. Then introduce yourself.
Unless he already knows you.
You continued on.
Sorry. Introduce yourself.
Blake nods his head in like a sort of a, hello and introduces himself. Not as Blake, so he doesn't know anyone here, but as Steve.
Alright. And
Sorry.
Attica kind of looks around really nervously. She goes, "I know somewhere we can talk."
Well, first, are you okay? Are you injured anywhere? Ned says,
Attica-
giving the
Attica-
little...
Attica gives kind of the grin. She goes, "Besides being exhausted from running so long, nope, he couldn't catch me. Not on his best day. Though his stamina really did surprise me. Apexer usually aren't that fast for that long."
I'm glad you're okay, dear. I'm glad I could be of help.
Tenzin finally crouches down and goes, Tenzin finally crouches down and goes, "Where do you want to talk?" And she goes, "Definitely not by the Merchants Guild." And that was kind of as a, yes, definitely buy the Merchant's Guild.
Okay.
Kid speak.
And so
Nit then shifts her pipe in her mouth and says, "Shall we go?" Holding out her hand to Attica.
Attica looks up at you and then at your hand. She hesitates for a minute, kind of fidgeting with her fingers before gently taking your hand. Also, I just saw that, Dark. I've been running for 30 minutes! But, she starts pulling...
It's infernal, actually.
She starts
Same thing.
pulling you along Nit to lead you towards the, You can use your arrow keys, Zeka.
Oh,
Starts, like, pulling you
Okay.
along to the
I
Merchant's
gotta get
Guild.
rid of the thing.
And she kind of leads you past the Merchant's Guild to, like, behind it. And you can see that there are, like, no people back here. And it's surrounded by crates. A good hiding spot. And so
God, there's this giant wall made of teal behind us. No.
she takes one last look around and she goes, "Okay, does anybody know about the
Damn.
rebels? Also, the Void, you would probably know about them too."
About the rebels.
Mm-hmm.
About the coup.
So Blake and can't
Blake,
remember.
Tenson, Blake and Tenson probably know the most, with followed by Hosei, followed by Vidat. In a sense, I can let you roll for it though.
I don't know, one of those things. Some people know and other people live in it.
Mm-hmm. So who
can Nit
wants?
make a perception check on the surrounding to make sure there's no one else?
Yes.
Because she's getting a feeling that they might be cautious.
My scholar's intuition. No.
Well, to be fair, she's used to be. Oh, first now.
Now that's tragic.
As
Want
far
to
as
roll as
myself-
well, just
I
for the sake
jinxed
of it?
myself telling you, Jess.
You can't even tell if there's actually people next to you right now.
Mainly focused on Attica.
Can I roll perception as well?
Yeah.
And we all just roll perception.
Actually,
Roll.
Blake probably would also do that.
Okay.
There is nobody else around.
I believe we are in a private area now.
Attica nods and she goes, "So, does anybody know?"
Blake
Well,
obviously
considering
does
that 3 of us are Artlanders, we wouldn't.
For those who are from Tarkalia, do you want to roll for history?
It also sits down in the grass, cross-legged, and gently coaxes Attica onto her lap.
Oh.
Devoid said, "Yes, the floor is made of floor."
Yeah, there's
Blake, I
There's-
was gonna say
there's
that
the
Blake
rebellion.
has heard things.
Okay, you can say that. And she'll go, "What kind of things?" So yes,
You
roll.
want me to roll? Oh boy. Would this be knowledge or?
It would be history, essentially.
Stop.
You
Knows about it.
have definitely
Doesn't
heard
believe
things, and you have definitely heard things in passing. Perhaps as a group of rebels was passing you.
Blake has passed them. Ow, child. Excuse me. Can you stop it?
So you know what I mean.
Stop it.
There's these big meanies that don't like outsiders, and they don't like Frontier's port.
Not a lot of people do, especially when you're catering to not your own, in a sense.
I suppose I get that. But they haven't done anything wrong. Not yet, anyway.
Well, unfortunately, from my knowledge, where there's good, there's bad. There's always balance.
Yeah, maybe. And she kind of looks away and then back at you, and she goes, but the rebels are really just doing all bad things. And people don't like to talk about them.
The silence.
Sorry.
My headset died again there for a
What?
second. No,
When
we're good.
did
Well,
these?
I'm glad I could help you get away from them, if that is the case. Nit says, as she raises her hand to gently pat the child on the head.
Attica makes a happy noise before looking to Jason, having heard him start to speak.
When did
Sorry.
these rebels make themselves known?
10 years ago? No.
Attica looks away for a minute, seemingly thinking pretty hard, and she goes, 3, no, 4,
This many.
2 to 4 years ago?
2 to 4 years ago. When did they say they made contact with outside world?
10 years ago.
It seems as though perhaps not all are thrilled with opening up your continent to the outside world.
Guess I'm not surprised.
Well, it's natural to be wary of the unknown.
Well, yeah, but Tarkalians aren't exactly nice to each other either.
Nit cocks her head slightly.
Jason, you remember the way that the Depth Jaw was talking about crest singers as you were at his stall?
Flashback to 10 minutes ago.
You had said that the thing that differentiates between beast and something else is by the way of thinking and reason. And he said to you, ha! Then they're more beast, if anything.
See. Yes, it seems as though there's conflict amongst the people of this continent like any other. Disdain for one another.
Yeah, it's always been that way. But I remember hearing stories that it used to be way worse.
I suppose that's as good. It could be. Things could be worse.
Sounds like they're biding their time to me.
No, like, you see there's a big lagoon in the middle of Tarkalia. I heard it used to be a massive, barren battlefield.
Nit takes out and opens the book of maps that she bought.
As you open the book of settlements, or specifically the one about, as you open the book on Feather's Grace, you do find mention of a legend that used to be told about the Expanse, the battlefield of Expanse. It's very short, almost like a children's rhyme.
Nit makes note of that mentally.
Nit will remember this.
Yes.
Apologies if you hear me cursing.
You're fine.
I
And
have
Attica throws up her hands and kind of brings them up and then like down and then outward. It was huge. the lagoon. You can even find remnants of the battlefield along the edges of the shore. But I remember hearing stories about Tarka and how she got them all to stop. Because something bigger came. No one knows what it is, but that's how she disappeared because of it.
Raquel was the one that had apparently upset the deities, right?
That
Is
is
that
what you
someone-
heard, yes.
Okay, that is what I heard.
That is what you heard.
Oh god.
Something bigger.
Well, that's one way to get a bunch of species together.
Did
Could be a
they
metaphor.
manage to kill it?
We
Something bigger.
think
Could not
so.
even be a creature.
It's not here anymore. I think no one knows what it was.
Lost part of history. Fascinating.
Yeet.
Do you
Right.
mention that you've heard of Tarka before?
Well, I heard from a merchant that Tarka
No.
had upset.
No, you heard it from Vidat.
Oh, Vidat. I heard from my friend over here that that Tarkat had angered a deity of your of some kind.
That makes Attica look very confused, and she goes, "Angered? Tarka didn't anger any deities. She was blessed by them. Her and her fellow warriors. They're the reason we're even here today. Who told you that?"
Yeah, it is not of concern right now.
She kind of squints at you a little bit. She goes, "I will come back to this later." She clearly isn't very happy to find out someone lied to you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. No.
But then she goes, "But back to the topic at hand. No one likes to talk about the rebels because of who is said to lead them."
Who is that?
Netra, hold on. Netra Titusi.
Netra Titusi.
She's a many-horn, a Nazuto Ceratops. She's a lot like your friend, like Tenson. But
Yes.
she's got these big bovine horns. And she kind of does like what you would think of like a bull horns on a cow above her head.
Interesting.
She's said to be a really strong mercenary. That's how she probably. I heard that's how she got so many to join her. But
Because
I only
because of
hear
that.
through word of mouth.
Hmm.
Well, it's still good to know. Thank you. It says,
Yes.
patting this child on the head.
Go on, Saga.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna be real.
Damn.
Oh shit, sorry.
Attica kind of giggles from the head pat, and she goes, you, and she kind of like sways a little bit. She almost seems nervous to ask.
Yes, small one.
She kind of looks down at the floor, but her eyes glance upwards at you, and then she takes a deep breath and goes, "Do you need a guide? I can guide. I've been everywhere."
Jason kind of hesitates for a moment, but then proceeds. Don't
Well, let
you-
me ask. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Damn.
Zeka.
Nit proceeds to crouch down to the child's height again. Well, let me ask you. Do you have a place to stay? Anyone to look after you?
She seems to hesitate, before she goes, "Yeah, sure, they're just not here."
Can I make a perception check to see if she's lying?
Bullshit meter is going on.
Yeah, you can.
May I also?
Concern for little
Yes.
We're all
creature.
just doing that. You said perception?
Yes.
Bruh.
Normal?
Hey.
Yes. So, Nick, you really can't tell if she's lying or telling the truth. You definitely think she's telling the truth.
Excuse me.
Yeah, seems fine to me.
Jason, Ursula, you think there's definitely more something going on, but Jason, you see right through that bullshit.
Ah, child, lies can only get you so far in this life.
She kind of looks at you, Jason, before sighing. She goes, oh, good. I've been on my own for a few months now. There, some rebels came to our village, and they wanted something, but I couldn't hear what. And when they wouldn't get it, they started burning down huts, and my parents told me to run, and
At which
she
point,
starts to tear up.
pulls the child to her floofy chest and hugs her. You're there, little one.
Attica tightly hugs you back, the memory clearly bringing much distress to her.
Gently, using her thumb, wipes a tear away from the child's eye.
She kind of sniffles and she goes, "I don't know where they are, and I'm so far now. But if I help you, maybe we can find your way back there." And
Knit looks at the two party members she's sharing a room with and is like, Can we take this child in? Like, she has nowhere to go. Come on. Basically, with her eyes.
Ursula just stares real hard at the book.
I suppose we must.
also, I want to make this very clear. She is telling the blatant, genuine truth.
Mm-hmm.
I figured.
Yeah, of course. Alright. Gonna be a bit of trouble at the end, but that will be resolved right this instant, actually. I reach into my pocket and I take out my key and I hand it to the kid.
She looks at your key before gently taking it. She goes, "What's this?"
When we get back to the main docks in the town, you're gonna follow these two into an inn. That sounds weird, and perhaps not the wisest decision for a child. But you're gonna have to trust us in this.
Knit gently scoops up the child into
Either
her
this
arms
or
as
you
she
sleep in the
stands, to
bush.
be fair.
It's either this or you sleep next to a dumpster.
Jeez,
To be fair, I would give up sleeping in the room if you had said no, Ursula. I would have slept outside with her.
Welcome back to Void.
Clearly said.
Jason has found out from Attica that you lied about the Tarka story.
Uh-oh.
But she doesn't know that you are the one who told that story and lied about it.
Wait,
There's a traitor amongst us.
I lied about the what?
The story that you told Jason earlier. She's like, "Who told you that?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." And she's like, "I will come back to this later." But she's clearly not happy about it.
You getting
Wait,
interrogated by an
Wait, she thinks it's a lie?
She knows
What I'm
it's a
getting.
lie.
From what I'm getting here, there's two bards in the party now.
Oh no.
There are.
And one's being more honest and the other is.
Or the one just doesn't know the whole truth.
One is being
Fair.
honest and the other one has no idea what's
I guess we'll have to find out now, won't we?
Yeah.
next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Making a joke.
I'm gonna bring you up here to win. But Attica, Jason saw through one of Attica's lies, and they found out that she has no one.
Nowhere.
Because the rebels had burned down her village, and her parents had told her to run, and she had been on the run ever since. For, I'd say, 5 months.
Oh my child. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh no, baby.
Not gonna lie, if Nit heard that, she'd be all like, yeah, no, I'm adopting this child now. Because she hates seeing kids alone, because, like, it's trauma for her and all.
Attica, you have picked her up, and she is very interested in your floof. But she's also trying not to be too touchy, because she knows that's not polite.
At which point, Nit gently takes the child's hand. Don't worry, I know not many people are used to my fur. And gently lets her pet Nit.
As you take her hand, you can just tell that her skin and the scales on top of it are very soft. And she kind of nods to you and she says, I know you're very, very soft.
Is a trademark of my species. If you think this is soft, wait till I show you what I can do back at the inn. Don't want to scare you or accidentally knock you out of my arms.
Believe it or not, I'm not that. I don't get scared very easy.
That is a good quality. There are many
Kind-
scary things in the world.
Especially on Tercalia.
All over the world.
I
New
wouldn't
things
know
at
about the
every
rest,
corner.
but I wouldn't know about the rest, but I do know home. I can tell you where to avoid, who's who's got a what. She stops and she because she's fucking up her words, and she goes, I know territories.
It'll come in very handy, Nit says, patting her head again. Nit's gonna be doing that a lot, because it's like little child, love little child. Like, she took care of a lot of the young, or she was a teacher and took care of a lot of the younger children at the temple. So, like, child must protect.
She looks to Tenson, though, and she goes, I know you. You're a mercenary from the guild. And you don't take anyone or do anything unless they pay. And Tenson seems surprised by this. And Attica digs into her gold pouch and hands him 2 gold pieces. And she says, it's all I have, but I really want to stay. And Tenson glances around at the rest of you.
Nah, Blake doesn't allow that.
Jason takes the money and hands it back to her. He works for us. The payment for him from you is not necessary.
Oh. Then I can really stay?
You have nowhere else to go. You might as well.
Hosei then finally speaks up and says, what are you asking for? Hold on. Hold on. State. I can't do the voice. Like, he said do a guttural voice, but I'm trying. And so I'm just gonna do a really deep one. State what you want, girl. And she goes, can you help me get home?
Nit without hesitation. Of course.
Indeed.
It's 2. Anyone else? Well, technically that's 4 because Hosei and Tenzin. Tenzin's gonna make Hosei do it either way, but
Blake has already said he's going to.
yep. Vidat.
Oh, what? God, no, I hate kids.
Unfortunately, it seems as though you're overruled.
I mean, clearly, but still.
As you all say yes and force Vidat to say yes also, Attica
I don't
can't
think
help
we
but
got
smile.
Ursula's.
I assumed it
Ursula?
was a yes. Dark.
Is Dark dead?
Dark is dead.
Apparently. No, I was just realizing Ursula hadn't said anything in a while, and I know Ursula and Nid are some of the most
No, I'm not.
Sometimes you
can't
can
hear
still
you.
hear her voice.
I'm speaking? No, you're not.
You might need to. Yeah, there she goes.
It's like they were here one moment and then they're gone. So sad.
I see it lighting up, but I don't hear you.
That's weird.
I don't see it lighting up at all.
Dark, you might have to continue via text.
Oh, no.
Hello?
There
Oh,
she
there we
is.
go.
There
Yay!
She lives.
Bullshit. And for the record, I said we'll do our best.
Okay, so yes, that's a yes. So as you all agree, and you basically force Vidat to as well, Attica giggles and smiles. She goes, "Thank you so much. I'll find a way to repay you somehow."
You're right, years old.
I
Don't
I
worry
think
about
you already have. Haven't you offered to be our guide?
Oh, right.
it. 8-year-old memory, yeah.
So you're all officially a group, and you can see that it's starting to. The sun is beginning to set. Devoid, didn't you want to offer something?
No.
Brady's gonna drug us.
Yeah.
Not again.
I know a nice inn where a whole bunch of the entertainers go after hours. We could get dinner there.
I was
So
just about to ask, anyone know a good place to get food?
I do, in fact.
Because I'm pretty sure with the little one running for as long as she said she has, she must be hungry.
I believe I could go for some food.
If that's what we're all doing, I suppose.
Follow me.
Follow?
So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to
Sure.
I'm gonna have to show you
Oh god.
So he is going to be leading you. Let's just say that one. It may seem small, but it goes underground.
Okay.
Not suspicious at all. Storm, if you go in those windows.
I need a map.
I need to kill this cat.
I'm okay with the kitty.
He keeps getting in my windows when he knows he should
Um,
not be. But I can't
sounds-
stop him.
That sounds like a skill issue.
I'll kill you.
Do it. Please.
Jazz is your
Tired of
friendly
this
fire.
world.
No.
To be completely honest, Sega and Dark, I'm not gonna lie, you sound like siblings.
God.
Damn. Don't insult me like that.
Damn. I can't
We
believe
are
that.
arguing.
Wait, did you two just finish each other's sentence? Oh
Not gonna-
my god, you
Insanity.
two just became best friends.
Oh no, it's almost like I made a monstrosity for him a few months ago.
That is true. And it nearly killed the party.
Yeah.
Good times.
Too powerful.
Honestly, I'd say it was perfect.
I mean, I don't think it is as powerful as one of my other characters that I wanted to bring into this campaign.
Oh no. But it was probably more traumatizing. At least for Jazz.
Yeah, that creature was
That's a
designed,
weird fucking cat over there.
that creature was designed to say fuck Jazz in particular.
Wouldn't it
Okay,
be
give me.
unfortunate? No.
So you're all walking towards the tavern. Go ahead and RP amongst yourselves. I need a moment.
I don't know.
You don't need to move your tokens. This is just the tokens are only there so you can actually see this map.
I don't know.
It's walking while chatting peacefully with Attica, learning about Attica's hometown and whatnot, whatever the child feels comfortable with sharing.
Get out of those windows, you little bastard. You're gonna knock my lamp over. I see you.
One moment,
out of
Avoid.
there.
Now I'll answer that.
Also, very, where the fuck did that come from?
What?
Wait,
David?
what?
So
Mhm.
I asked Jazz, how very were we planning on playing till? And then I edited it to were, because where the fuck did very come from?
To be honest, I didn't actually mean to take for this session to take that long, but
And it's session 0.
yeah.
Anything could happen.
Oh no, I just asked because I've gotta start getting ready for bed around like 1 or so.
Fair enough.
I was gonna say, what time is it for you currently?
12:30.
Well,
Okay.
you'll have
Oh,
dinner.
we're in the same time zone.
We'll have dinner
Alright.
in the tavern, and then when you return to the inn, this session will end.
Oh, cool.
Dumbass. Not you guys, the cat.
Also fair.
Cats aren't the smartest.
I need to put something in the windowsill just to keep him out of it at some point. Because
Just
he is
line it with nails.
eventually. No, because I like the cat.
Also, you think
Line.
lining it with nails is gonna keep the cat away?
I mean, if they don't want their paws to get hurt.
Have you ever owned a cat?
I know, right?
Never, actually.
I was
Or
gonna
shepherd?
say they would probably enjoy lying on that.
It would become
Yeah.
it'd become their fucking favorite thing. You'd be
Yeah,
you would be
literally.
so fucking pissed. It'd be amazing.
Cat beds are the equivalents of, you know what a pigeon nest looks like?
Mm.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not going into any more detail.
one of the great joys of a cat owner is getting a cat a new, really, really, really cool cat toy, and the cat playing in the box and just ignoring your great
Yeah,
new
literally.
toy for 6 months until it disappears. Then that's all the cat
Oh
wants.
shit. I did
Oh,
not mean
no.
to activate that yet.
Oh,
We're going
no.
back to Printer's Port. There we go. I'm having an issue
I
with
can
the
tell.
grid. I might
You
just
took
turn
us
off the
into a
grid.
place we weren't allowed.
I'm just gonna turn off the grid.
Okay, dokie.
How do we do that again?
Anyway, cats are bullshit. That's why we love them.
Grid this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. So as you make your way as you follow BDAT, you're all talking amongst yourselves, kind of getting to know each other a bit more, and Attica is resting her head against your neck, Knit.
Mm.
Clearly tired and exhausted from having run for who knows how long.
That's part of the reason Nit picked the child up. It's because, like, she could tell the child was exhausted.
And VDAT finally leads you into the front entrance of this rather small looking building. And the receptionist looks up and she's another child of Seth, and she goes, brought guests, have you? saying this to you, Vidat.
Yes.
And she kind of quietly counts to herself, and she goes, "Is this your entire party?
Yes.
Very well. If you would head down the stairs."
Thanks.
And she goes back to writing things down, and you make your way down the stairs, and hold on. And I'm gonna have that out front. Yes, I know the tokens are giants. Don't worry about it. Whoa! Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Be completely fair. All I see is black.
There we go. Yeah, you will for a moment. And I know the tokens are giant, but bear with me. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the size of this. And as he, you can freely move. He leads you all down. I wouldn't move that far.
To the stable, basically.
I'm a half ghost.
What else am I missing? That one.
Oh.
Shut. Oh, not that one. And then I've got bring Attica down here. And you lead you down, and you come to like a busy tavern. There's a lot of bards here.
Is this where I say I still
And,
can't
like-
see shit?
Oh shit, I forgot to add yours.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Wow.
Shut!
To be fair, there's a lot of people in this campaign.
So anyway, as you all make your way down the stairs with Vidat leading you, you come to a very large tavern. And you see all these like performers and musicians and bards and all the sorts and entertainers all talking to each other and chatting. And you hear Attica gasp and go, "Wow! I hope to come here one day."
Well, today's your lucky day, I
That'd be
guess.
nice.
She giggles and she nods. Vidat, you lead them all to a table. Quite a large table.
How many of us are there? We're just gonna go down here, I guess. The only table that'll fit us. Or that one
Yeah,
on the
it's-
other side of the room.
You know what? Fair enough. Bring you all down here.
Ned's probably going to have the child on her lap. Yes, I'm going to continue to call it the child.
Spawn.
So anyway, as you all sit down, you notice that some people are like staring at you as you pass by. But
Freaking whatever.
as soon as you sit down, a crest singer walks over, and she's in a like waitress outfit. She is holding like a pen and paper, and she goes, "What can I get you?"
Ned turns to Attica. Get anything you like, dear.
She proceeds to tell the waitress ask the waitress if she could get something that sounds like a salad, essentially. And she nods and she writes it down. She looks to the rest of you.
Blake just wants water.
And-
What would I normally get?
You are a carnivore, a terrestrial hunter, so you can pretty much eat anything.
I'll get some meat and nuts.
She writes that down.
try
Tenson and
not to
Hosei
sneeze.
give their orders.
Steak and eggs.
She writes that down. She looks at Ursula.
No. Whatever kind of whole fish you have. And
Huh?
some bread. I said whatever kind of whole fish you have. And some bread.
She raises
Or
her brow,
paper.
but she writes it down, and then she looks to Knit. And she kind of does a double take at Knit, and then she shakes her head and goes, "What do you want?"
What would you classify a Lumaling?
You are
a beast.
carnivorous.
No.
Okay. Do you have any poultry of any kind?
We've got chicken.
Then I'll have that. Thank you very much.
She nods and writes something down. And she also writes down any drink orders you guys had and then goes on her way. Attica looks to all of you and she goes, "I really can't thank you all enough."
It's the duty of the order to look after the smaller.
I'm gonna separate some of y'all out a little bit.
Yeah, we're all just kind of crowding one side of the
Yeah, you're
table.
sitting in Jason's lap here.
Well,
Also,
Attica is supposed to be
please, we've
sitting
only
on
just
Knit's lap,
met.
to be fair.
Here.
You seem like a nice guy, but I like women.
You're the one who climbed up into my lap.
I'm the one who sat here first. Literally the first one at the table.
So, as you all sit and listen to the chatter of the tavern,
Knit looks around and takes her pipe out for a breath. Anyone have a problem with me? Gesturing to the crew.
Wait, what was it?
wait.
Knit
Why-
wants to partake of her pipe.
Oh.
So she's
Jason-
asking politely if anyone has
No.
an issue with her smoking.
Jason shakes his head. Feel free.
Attica seems to think about it before jumping down, or before getting down and sitting in her own seat. She goes, "Sorry."
It's fine. She pats the young creature on the head, proceeds to open the pipe, put what looks like an incense in, closes it,
I'm just gonna switch you
and
here.
presses a button on the side, at which everybody hears this and then there's smoke. It's a sweet-smelling, pleasant smoke, though.
You got a vape.
Vape Nation.
It's made out of berries and flowers from our mountains. So it's rather pleasant in comparison to tobacco and all that.
Artisanal vape.
Attica kind of taps her hooven fingers on the table, and she goes, "So, what do you think about Tarkalia so far?"
I'm enjoying it. Very happy I made the trip. Very happy
Okay.
my temple allowed me to.
It's quite a peaceful place.
Hopefully it'll be a good
I'm-
place to spend a holiday. She winks.
Holiday?
Yes. Holiday, from where I'm from, is what we call a vacation or a trip for leisure and for pleasure.
You're going Australian.
That's fine.
What does it matter? We all kind of know what it
Listen.
started as.
Listen, I've been saying holiday since I was asked at fucking intersection or whatever it's called.
It's too late to back down now.
Pretty much. I'm committed.
Attica kind of nods and goes, "Oh," and then she thinks for a moment and goes, "Why here?"
That is personal reasons.
She kind of squints at you, not entirely believing you, but she goes, "Okay,"
I mean,
and then
I'm telling the truth.
yeah, but she's a child, you know. But she looks at Jason. She goes, "What about you?"
I came
Points
here.
accusingly at the white man.
Fuck. I came here to study the phenomenon of this place's spiritual world.
He's 8 years old.
I came here to
I
study
don't-
ghosts.
I was gonna say, I don't think Jason has much experience with children. No offense.
I just throw a spoon at him.
Ghost.
Yes.
So
You seen
you're
this
going
man's hand,
to.
kid?
She kind of looks at Ursula and then to Jason's hands and then back up at Jason. She goes, "It's not uncommon to see bones here, but if you're looking for ghosts, then
No,
you're
no.
gonna be finding them soon, I guess.
What? Really?
Since the way up to the Titania lands are closed, the only way to get out of Frontiersport besides leaving Tarkalia entirely would
He's
be
dying. No.
going through the marshlands."
I have heard tale of the marshlands.
One moment.
Uh-oh.
Where is this land?
Anyway,
Maybe
I was preheating the oven because I'm hungry. She nods to you in a big way and she goes, "Yeah. Do you not know the reason why the Titania doors are closed?
No. It was rather vaguely talked about.
They wanted to go through Titania lands because they didn't want to go through the marshlands. Apparently," and Tenson stops her and he goes, "You know, apparently, one of their crew members saw Sinew. You can only imagine how that was." He kind of rolls his eyes and looks away.
Sinew.
And Attica kind of puffs up her cheeks. Kind of annoyed she's been interrupted, but continue.
Sinew. Jason reaches into his bag and pulls out the small statue.
At
This
which
creature?
point, Nit takes a keen interest.
Attica smiles and nods. She goes, "That's her. Or what we think is her anyway. No one lives to tell the tale of what she looks like. You understand."
I do indeed.
Why is she talking like that?
Words. Jason smiles. Perhaps I will be the first.
I wouldn't count on that.
You should almost never meet your gods.
Oh, who says Jason worships any of these things he studies?
Oh my god, it's Jason Bourne.
Did Jay give you that one?
No, that was me.
Okay, fair enough.
But if you have any questions about Sinew, now would be the time to ask him, because Jason hasn't said this to you two.
Nit's just taking a keen interest at the moment in the plants trapped in the statue.
I'm so sorry. Jay, can I say that, Jay?
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
He said, yeah, you shouldn't meet your gods. Yes, Adesh is a perfect example of that.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you literally got into a fight and he called you an idiot every time you two met.
To be fair, Arabi is also kind of an example of that too.
Yeah, fair
I called him
enough.
a bitch every time. I pretty much called him a bitch every time I met him.
Razor
Damn.
Teeth met a god, just not the one that she intended to.
Whoopsie, wrong summoning spell.
Anyway, if you have any questions about what they're talking about, now would be the time to ask them.
So that is one of the deities?
Yes.
Attica nods. Go ahead.
I was told that Sinew was a sort of god of death.
Fascinating, Nit says as she pulls out her book and starts jotting down notes. Mainly to remind herself to also look into the religion of the island. She's more interested in science than religion, if that makes sense, because, like, her god is a god of knowledge. Basically. So, like, learning new things is basically the doctrine.
Yeah, of course.
So you know a little bit about the deities. Do you know anything about the chosen?
Besides that, one of them was Tarkal, or however her name was, Tarkat?
Tarka.
Tarka. Yeah. Besides,
Yeah,
Well-
Tarka.
Tarka was a different kind of chosen. The chosen that we have are the ones who usually rule over settlements.
hmm. So
Yeah,
Like-
So, like lords or ladies.
Why not?
Well, I think so. It's more than that. The chosen are completely chosen by the deities. So their word is law. Judge, jury, executioner.
did
Because
your
they
village?
because they speak for the deities.
Did your village have one of these chosen?
Are
Oh no,
So-
my Wi-Fi.
you know
Better stay
how like
delicate.
Frontier's Port is the capital of to the outside world?
Yes.
Well, each region has a capital where the chosen stay, but they rule over the entire region that their deity controls.
Hmm. Then perhaps.
Mine is
Go ahead.
led by Shatter, the chosen of Steel Fury, the finality.
I see.
I've never met her. I always wanted to.
Perhaps this shatter can be of help to us in getting justice for your village.
Maybe. I had heard that the North is fighting with rebels. Apparently Natra wants something
The
in
North
there.
is fighting the South.
It's more like the North. The North. It's more like the North. West is fighting the Northeast.
Literally just New
It's
York and
California versus New York. God damn it!
Yeah.
You're so smart for your
Oh my
age, dear.
God, it's the Crips and
Knit
the Bloods
says,
all
petting
over again.
Every time.
This
Attica.
Dark. This is not helping the sibling allegations.
Not.
But Attica seems a little confused by that statement, because she goes, "Well, it's kind of common knowledge. It has to be. If you don't have that, then it could be bad." Because the Titanier, they don't like anybody coming into their forest. Nobody, unless they are invited. Not even the Lord and Lady of Frontier's Port can go there without an invitation. No one knows what the Titaniers are like, besides the ones that leave. Except, I heard that they emulate their deity, Kelso, the fortress.
Kelso.
Let's
Sorry.
see.
Well, I hope one day to discuss with one of them.
I think Depth Jaws would sooner fly. Attica then turns to Blake. And she looks up at Blake and she goes, "And you're a Pluvian. Are you from Feather's Grace?"
I am. Though I traveled a lot.
Oh. And she kind of notices the paint in your feathers. She goes, "That's really pretty."
Thank you. He doesn't know what
And
besides that.
Tenson then pipes up and goes, "To be honest with you, Sinu ain't the only deity in the marshlands.
Who else is that?
Deimos, the ever
Yeah, of course it is. Sorry.
You cut out, Jazz. What'd you say?
Deimos, the Everhunger.
The Everhunger.
Yeah.
It is just jotting all these
The
names down.
Everhunger.
Attica pipes up and goes, "He's a giant croc."
What is he the deity of?
Attica,
No.
Attica thinks for a moment and goes, and Tenson goes, "Gluttony."
Uh-huh.
Nick gives a little chuckle to that.
I've heard of people that have talked to Deimos in person. He has no chosen. Kind of a forgotten deity, if you would. Anyone who
Anyone
passes
got
by there,
gluttony certainly wouldn't have any chosen. They will take what they can get.
I heard that the people of Sinu do feed him, mostly to keep him on his good side. But anyone who passes through his territory and don't give him something, he'll take you instead. All of it.
Well, we better be careful going forward then.
Oh yeah, considering the only way through is through the marshlands, definitely. Between Sinu and Deimos and whatever people that are left in. She seems kind of nervous to say that.
What other wait, I didn't catch that.
What other people are left in there?
Do you not talk to those of the marshland?
It's hard to explain. You hit Tenson. More like stories, not necessarily proof of fact. Stories of, you know what? Go ahead and give me a history roll.
Boy.
All of us, or just Blake?
Just Blake.
Okay.
Though VDAT can give one too if he wants.
No.
You said history, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's just checking his nails. No.
You remember
Damn.
hearing stories of what happened to people, but you can't be sure by what you heard.
Blake will then say that he's heard stories, though he can't confirm that what he has heard is true.
Tenson pipes him and goes, "I've heard the same thing." Attica goes, "I know them, but they're kind of scary."
Maybe you can tell us later.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Are there other deities you want to know about?
Oh, I'll be asking a lot of questions, don't worry. But right now, I think our food is almost here, she says, sniffing the air.
Attica looks around
Make eye
and
contact.
as the waitress shows up with a big tray of food and she starts passing out everything. And you hear
makes eye contact
Attica's.
with the waitress, and she moves to a different table.
Wait, what?
You know when you make eye contact with a waiter that's got a tray of food, and you're absolutely convinced that it's yours, and it turns out it's for a different table?
Oh yeah, that's a horrible
That.
feeling.
No. This is definitely your food. So she starts passing out the food, and you hear Attica's stomach growl very, very loudly. And she kind of covers her stomach, embarrassed, and goes, "I haven't eaten in a while."
Child.
That explains why you were so light. Be sure to fill up.
Just
She
not
kind of kicks her. She kind of wags her tail a little before nodding to both of them before beginning to eat.
I
And
pluck
as
out
you
I
all,
pluck out the fish eyes and I hand them down the table for the kid.
do you actually?
Yes,
uh, she
those are good
looks
for
at
your
the
stomach.
eyes and she goes, "I don't think I need to supplement."
No. Those are good for your stomach. They're not supplements. You have not eaten
Tenson
a lot recently.
At
It'll help
Tenson
you
chuckles.
digest.
which point Ned is
Tenson
all like, Ursula, hate to break it to you, but if I'm correct, they're mostly herbivorous.
Yeah.
Tenson Tenson
Any
chuckles and
herbivore.
goes.
Go on.
Tenson goes, "Yeah, she meant that she doesn't need to eat anything related to meat. At least not yet. We may be obligate herbivores, but sometimes, if the situation's bad enough, we've got to eat meat."
To be fair, that's with pretty much any species.
I look at the child. When was the last time you've had something to eat?
Attica kind of stares off in the distance, thinking for a moment.
That's never good.
Hmm.
Oh,
That
dear.
answers my
At
question.
which point,
Eat your fish
Ned,
eyes.
honestly shakes her head at Ursula, thinking about it after seeing Attica's reaction.
Hmm. That's what I thought. Eat your fish eyes. They're good for you.
She
Y'all
kind
have
of
a
looks
good
down
night.
at.
It's literally free
Okay,
protein.
bye, Devoid.
Oh,
See
no.
ya.
Bye.
Ow. Fuck.
So, Attica kind of looks down at the eyes, and she doesn't seem all that too enthusiastic, but
Here, I will show you a
she,
trick. Plug your nose. Open your
she
jaw. Pulp them in. Swallow them like you accidentally swallowed a marble when you were 4 years old or something.
kind of watches you,
You've done
and
that? Maybe.
she watches you, and she tries to do that, but because her nose is solid bone, she can't do that.
You just cover your nostrils with your hand.
No.
Alright, if that's not going to work, here. I pour her a glass of water. Swallow them with your water. The protein's good
She
for you, even if it's not really something you usually eat.
she takes the glass and she looks down at the
It's like trying to
eyes
get a kid
in
to eat their
between
meds.
and eyes between her fingers, and she takes a deep breath and she very quickly swallows both of them and the water and puts the cup down. And she kind of stares at the cup and she goes, "Ugh."
Yeah.
At which
It's always
point,
the
Ned
first
pats the
reaction.
child on the back and is all like, good girl.
Yeah, no, fish oil's an acquired taste.
Ah. She starts eating her
Delicious
greens
salad.
and whatnot. Well, it's a salad, but also it has berries and fruit.
Suddenly, this
Some
is
of
much more
which,
tasty now.
you of these fruit that you have not seen before, Nick.
Intently making note to keep an eye out for them on the actual plant.
As you all sit down to eat,
Oh, no.
okay. And as you all sit down to eat, and you're all eating and chatting with each other, kind of trying just to learn more from like each other, both the Tarkalians and the quote unquote outsiders. A
That sucked.
something gets thrown at Jason from behind him.
Jason, feeling the impact of something against his head, kind of grabs at the back of it. What was that? He turns around to look.
Sitting at this like at
Over here.
that table right there, that table.
Good arm.
Uh,
No.
You see a
Too
couple
much sounding more
of
like siblings. I can't get that out of my head.
you see you see a couple of many horns sitting there, and they don't seem very happy that you're here. And they all seem to be laughing amongst themselves.
It just twitches her ears, goes back to eating. She's used to getting this reaction because, like, there aren't any Lumalin outside of the spires.
Jason does the same.
That
I
didn't
discreetly
seem
just
to
slide
be the
Jason's-
reaction they wanted, and they threw something else. Except this
I
time
very
they hit
discreetly-
Hosai, and Hosai
no.
immediately gets up and whips around, and he goes over, grabs the mini horn by the back of the head, and slams it into the table. And he goes, "Don't do that again." and dead ass, the whole
Bar goes
everything-
silent.
yeah.
Oh no.
And then he lets go, and he comes back, and he sits back down. And after a moment, everything starts up again.
Knit looks at Hosei. Is that really necessary?
His tongue flicks out as his eyes turn to you and said, "Words don't mean nothing here. Actions do." And Tenson nods with that statement.
Knit's ears kind of do that airplane thing, and she's like, "Okay then," and then goes back to eating. So I'm taking another drag on her pipe.
Attica is the first one to finish eating. And she sits back and goes, "Ah."
If you need seconds, don't worry about it.
Oh, I
Slide the
can't
bread
add.
basket down the table.
Oh, bread! She happily starts munching through a loaf of bread, her beak
Yeah,
easily
kids like
crushing
bread.
through the crust. And she's kicking her feet and wagging her tail, obviously quite happy. Yeah, I'm working on it, Sega, don't worry.
Okay.
Let me know if you want to order anything else, Attica.
Attica shook her head, clearly content with the bread at the moment.
Alright.
Tenson then speaks up. "So, after we finish eating, we should all head back to the inn.
A good idea.
I assume you're all leaving Frontier's Port tomorrow through the marshlands."
More than likely.
Hmm.
I kind of want to look around a bit more, but this little one needs to get solace as well as adventure, probably, right, Attica?
Can you repeat that?
This little one needs to get solace for her village as well as adventure, right? I know,
Attica
sighed.
just nods.
My mom's just hate me, fuck.
It would probably, just as from the DM here, it's probably wise to ask just how far away her village might be.
For Nid, it doesn't really matter, to be frank, because she's going to explore all over Targaryen.
It took her 5 months to get here. No.
It's probably worth asking. Jason
Blake
bends
asks.
Blake
down
asks.
to. Oh, Blake's asking? Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. It's a good thing. It's a good question.
Attica thinks for a moment before she digs into her pack
Wow.
and pulls out a map of Tarkalia, which I'm going to bring back up. Can you see this? You can see this, yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So she goes, "I'm from the north, Steel Fury's territory. I think the village is around here, near the Lake of Bones.
Hmm.
Ursula slowly chews the bite of fish in her mouth. Well, guess not. That doesn't sound promising.
It'd take us a bit to get there. But at the same time, it does give us ample opportunity to explore.
Wait,
Main reason I'm here. It chuckles.
Attica nods and she goes, "Oh, there's a lot of places. Even ones I haven't even been to. Like the island down south and the island up north."
there's probably good reason for that. Literally one of them is named the Silence. Looks radioactive.
Ah,
I
there's your
think-
sense of adventure.
To be fair, the spires would probably be where Knit would hang out.
The Spire of Stars or
Yeah.
Stars Touch Point.
Yeah.
Fire star.
Destiny. Anyway,
I was gonna
Mountains,
say.
so and so on.
Damn, is there a raid there?
if it's of any interest, I
Aw.
have seen a lot of ruins on my travels.
She's probably seen ruins too.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, ruins and runes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Maybe we can investigate them if we come by them again.
I believe that to be a good idea.
Attica smiles and she giggles. She goes, "Then it's a plan."
Indeed it is. Knit pats the young Ling on the
Attica
head.
giggles again. And I've already pointed this out before, but I'm gonna have Attica point it out before. So down here are the marshlands. That's where we'll be heading through. As I said, I don't really know much about the people there. But
Well, from what I've gathered so far, a lot of the people prefer to stick to their own.
yeah, some way more than others. Like the Titania I mentioned before. But like the Pluthin of Feathers Grace are super nice. But I don't know. The Martians are just different. Like, listen to the tavern. Listen to all the people talk. All the noise. There's none of it down there.
Silence is odd in a place like this.
Not necessarily if there's a large predator.
Well, what could
Well, there's two.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the only time the other things would feel comfortable would be in rainfalls.
Tenson speaks up and goes, "I recommend not stopping to camp anywhere in the marshlands. Best to get out of there as fast as possible."
Note taken.
Attica then points to a settlement past the marshlands. "We could stop at Shattered Frill, I think. That's the home of a lot of Manyhorn. Like you, Tenson." Tenson just nods. "Yeah, but Shattered Frill ain't mine. Not anymore, anyway."
Draw.
Knit has been copying the map over Attica's shoulders into her own notes.
Oh god.
So, as you finish talking, you all have basically finished eating by this point. You've been talking for some time, and a lot of the people that have been here before have now left, most likely to go to sleep. So I think it is time for you all to start heading back towards the inn.
That is a good idea.
It takes the final drag of her pipe, blows out a smoke ring, opens the chamber, and drops the ashes into an ash pouch.
Attica tilts her head at that, but doesn't ask. So you all get up, and you start to make your way out of the tavern. And you all begin to make your way back to the inn.
Seeing as Attica is still tired, Nit offers to carry the child again.
Attica happily takes you up on that offer, leaning into you, very tired by this point. And as you all make your way into the inn, the innkeeper greets you. He goes, a bigger party than before.
Ah, yes.
How much would it cost to have a child accompany us in our room? Nit says, taking out her coin pouch.
He looks at you and he looks at Attica and he can see just how tired the girl is. He goes, don't worry about it.
Thank you very much, Nit says, waving her tail.
Go on up then, it's getting late.
Nit's gonna give up her bed for Attica.
No, I was gonna suggest that Ursula just makes a hammock. She's used to it.
Vidot goes up to his own room.
The beds in the temple are made of stone. Nit's used to sleeping on whatever.
Oh, I don't have Attica. I'll fix that.
Uh-oh.
So,
No, not the
and Blake goes to his own room. I assume.
Nit gently takes off Attica's bag as she's falling asleep. Nit's arm. And
I would
proceeds to
assume
tuck the
yes.
little.
Just for story's sake, I would assume yes.
Nit then tucks the child in and proceeds to go to the corner where she dropped her scrolls.
Attica
And opens.
Attica kind of stretches out and does a big yawn, and then she curls up in on herself, nuzzling into the blankets.
Totally not just squatting in an empty room.
Jason goes to bed himself, putting away all the goodies he has gotten today.
As you all settle in,
Nit's going to be taking notes for a bit.
As you all settle in, and the sun finally sets over the horizon. Night has finally settled in, and the sound of the wind and the bustling streets outside can barely be heard as most of you, begin drifting off to sleep. Though, as you begin to drift off to sleep, Jason, you hear something whisper to you.
Jason.
Would Nit hear this too? Because she's technically awake.
Just Jason.
Writing,
Just Jason.
okay.
Jason pulls himself back from the brink of sleep and opens his eyes.
The whispering is gone.
No.
No.
He kind of whispers to himself, "If it's you again, I'd rather sleep than play this game."
There's no response.
Jason just lays back down.
And as you drift,
Nick kind of
begin to
glances
drift-
over.
Go ahead.
Glances over at him like, the fuck? Okay, whatever.
Don't worry, Ursula's just ignoring this. She's cleaning out her nails with one of her knives.
Attica's dead asleep already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick could tell the child was tired. It's one of the
But-
reasons she immediately took off her bag and tucked her in.
But Jason, as you drift off to sleep once again, and you finally close your eyes, and you settle in, everything's quiet for a while. You hear the sound of Nick writing things down, but eventually that disappears as you finally find yourself asleep.
In the morning, everybody's gonna be scared. Sorry.
No, Jason's the only one who's hearing this.
No, I'm talking about when Nick goes to sleep, because she's gonna be like kind of tucked into the corner, fully poofed out, so you'll see her huge eye spots. And just
And
like,
so,
Oh god.
sorry.
and so as you drift off to sleep and you finally find yourself in the sleep, everything's silent. And all of a sudden, you just hear I see you.
Wait, only Jason hears that? Because that just gave me fucking chills.
Mm-hmm. Only Jason hears that.
Jason
His eyes just pop open.
shoots up in his bed as he grips the dagger from his pocket. I will
Would
not
Nick be
fear
asleep by
you.
now?
By the time he wakes up, yes, Nit is asleep, passed out. having
Okay,
been
then he
drawing.
will see the metallic color of her eye spots in the night. So that's not gonna help him at all.
Don't
So
worry.
don't worry.
I know what this is, and it doesn't have eyes.
Okay.
That's somehow worse.
But there's just giant eye spots in the corner of the room.
I'd like to think
It's the
Ursula's not
moonlight.
sleeping the first night.
Yeah.
You look
She just kinda turns
if
her
you
head
glance
over to look
around
at him.
Go ahead.
All I said was I don't imagine Ursula sleeping the first night, so she just kind of hears him jerk himself awake, and she just kind of turns her head over in her own bed to look at him. Doesn't say anything. She just looks at him. Anybody
Go
hear me?
ahead.
Yeah, we hear you.
Go
Did you
ahead,
hear what I
Jules.
said?
Yes.
Okay, good. Did you ask
Whatever
Okay.
No. Whatever you had heard was not something you have heard before.
For the giant eye spots. Oh no. Sorry.
No. This was different.
That's a new one.
And to be fair, since Nick technically was actually slept with her tail wrapped around the sails, unless it was storming, they wouldn't have known what she looks like when she's puffed up.
Fair enough, but yeah, what
Ja-
you heard, you've not heard before.
Jason, feeling uneasy now, reaches into his bag and pulls out a sack of salt and pours it around his bed. Creating
Do you
a
try to-
salt line.
Do you try to go back to sleep?
Yes.
Okay. So you lay back down, you take a deep breath, and you hope that the salt keeps whatever was speaking to you at bay. And as you finally drift back off to sleep, you suddenly open your eyes, but you're not in the room that you last saw yourself in. You find yourself floating in a space above what seems to be a flowing, rapid river of blood.
This is like that one Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
And if you look off into the distance, you see something large looming in the distance, but you can't quite make out what it is.
Jason points his hand in the direction and will attempt to cast Ray of Frost.
You attempt to cast Ray of Frost and it just immediately fizzles out. But whatever you were casting it at immediately hurts you and it whips around and all you see are eyes and teeth. And it comes lunging at you and you suddenly sit back up in bed, knife raised.
That wasn't the bony one. Something new. Why now?
Something borrowed. No.
Suddenly you hear from the side. Suddenly you hear from the bed next to you and goes, "Are you okay?" The sudden startled had actually woken up Attica.
I was gonna
Yes.
say the sudden startle would have woken up Nit too, to be fair.
I've just been watching him this entire time.
Just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So Nit like opens her eyes
The
startlingly.
first time he woke up, she's still just watching him.
Nit picks up her monocle from beside her, puts it on.
I am fine. Simply dreams.
It's okay. I have bad dreams too.
And we all do. Bad dreams are simply our mind's way of tricking us.
She kind of yawns widely and she settles back into bed and she goes,
I was gonna ask, did Attica notice this big puffball in the
"No,
corner?
definitely not. Definitely not."
Okay.
She doesn't even have her eyes open. She just had woken up, but she's so tired that she's not.
Okay.
She goes, "It's okay. Nothing's gonna happen." Probably repeating something that she's heard from her own parents before.
Oh no.
She's trying to comfort you.
I appreciate it, little one.
Nit's eyes are now on Jason. Are you sure you're okay?
I am fine.
Mind you, like, her yellowish or red eyes are looking at him, as well as these big, bright red eyes. So he's like,
While
He's just
thrown,
sitting in a
while
dark room with two characters that allegedly have night vision.
while thrown off at first, Jason calms himself. I will be alright. Some bad dreams will not keep me from a peaceful night's sleep.
And as
We're
you
here.
all settle back into sleep, that is where we end the session. What did you
Before that, Nit
think?
That was
Awesome.
very good.
I was gonna say, Nit says, here if you need to talk. Before settling back into sleep.
I think that was good.
I'm so glad.
I'm excited. I want to keep going. But then again,